Oh, that was the whatever that was the start of the stream.
Wait, what?
Yes.
Well, the cat started it.
Yep. All right. So F's in the chat for everyone's ears if you're wearing headphones. But no. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hamster's Hobbying. We got another full house.
I'm sorry.
All right, be sure to screen cap Toby's face there. Put it as your wallpaper. Yeah, he's knocking on your computer screen.
Come and knock on my screen.
I can already tell what the stream's gonna be like. It's gonna be great.
I'm very tired.
So you know what? Tired Chris is a fun Chris.
You never know what I'm gonna say next.
Hey everybody, how you doing? Topulous Rabbit, IME Verdicts, Bewatcher, Flight of the Wyverns, David F. Bard.
Oh, it's my 12-month sub anniversary.
Nice.
Maybe Moffat? Oh, you were combining two.
Chris coming in hot with a 12-month sub.
Are we having acoustic oddities? Is there weird sound?
Hello. My levels look fine.
I do like that we're just gradually collecting more and more people as the
Oh, not since the very start. Okay, great. Wait, no, I think the acoustic oddity was Chris.
The acoustic oddity was me yelling at my cat.
Because it said not since the very start, and right when I hit live is when you screeched at the cat.
Well, there we go.
So it might have been that. Speaking of which, I'll start the music. I'm doing Amy Waters again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, Amy, yeah. Hey, Taco, congrats on getting the game. Yeah, that's right, we drew the names for the game yesterday.
Oh, nice. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Playing?
Was it?
Am I playing?
Yeah. You're playing in the build jam part of the game.
Yeah, you're the guy that gets hit with a chair, like WWE style.
I thought it was going to be background tree number 3.
We're gonna let people vote on it. Sure. Nice, are we doing the castle today?
Yeah, I have the castle.
Alright, I'm gonna activate the bricks.
Toby, you and I are going to
I'm
be the
also-
pirates who wait on the sidelines to then jump into the game. Sorry, mate.
What? I'm going to be thrown into a game? What?
No. Mace, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I'm doing Valentine's in between the castle bricks too, because I'm still too scared to put anything permanent in here. Besides names.
You're afraid of commitment?
You're afraid of
I am.
commitment on Palentine's Day?
Dead. I'm gonna be alone forever, and I'm gonna love it.
I want to be that good of a friend.
Okay, so I have some splaining to do because I forgot that I have a picture of tortoises on my screen. So
What's up?
I'm painting a tortoise folk mini,
Alright.
and in the spirit of Palentine's Day, we're gonna go A to C, maybe A to D here. So in the spirit of love on Valentine's/Palentine's, my twin sister just got engaged this week, and she has pet tortoises. This is a picture of her tortoises, Acadia and Crush. They're red-footed tortoises. So when I got these tortoise folk, I said I'm gonna base their colors on her red-footed tortoises. So the two other guests on today's show are Acadia and Crush here, the tortoises. Alright, so if your ears weren't dead at the cat screech, they're dead now. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a great Valentine's Day. Good night.
Scared me.
Actually, it's not very loud in my ears, so I'm pretty sure it's not that bad on the stream, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... We're
I'm coming through.
I'm a little concerned. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, right.
This isn't a great time for this.
I don't control my body. Do you?
We all have body. Real Rogden, thank you for the raid.
Tell the conversion.
Thank you. Wow, right off the bat, appreciate that.
Hey, there was a guy in here earlier that was saying that he was the real Rogden. You might want to check him out. You might need to have words with him.
Battle to the death. The doppelganger.
Oh, Jim Watson was part of the raid. That's excellent.
Nice.
Want to joke about there being audio issues after that?
Yeah.
Dude, after last night's stream, like,
Oh no.
no jokes about audio issues.
Oh, was it a mess?
You remember that thing that happened during the war game where we were getting choppy audio and I had to remake the entire scene?
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's super fun. That super fun event.
That super fun thing where I had to rebuild the entire thing I'd set up in the middle of the stream. It happened again last night. Baby, it's annoying. You're live. People are waiting. Yeah, that happened again last night. After not happening for a very long time. So that was frustrating.
But here, all we got is sneezes. Think we can manage that.
And screams. Don't forget about the screams.
And cat screams, yeah.
Last night you only had to unplug and replug your camera to fix your audio. Yeah, that's right. The solution to making our audio stop sounding bad was to turn off the DSLR and turn it back on. The thing that wasn't providing any audio.
Computers are weird, man.
Yeah, there's a bunch of wires crossing, and I don't know. We gotta.
That's wild.
Solution to audio is always found in video. Yeah.
So
I was about to try like changing my shirt to see if that would have fixed the audio. That's about the point it was getting to.
turn off the power grid in the office building. Turn it back on.
Man.
Dwarven Forge, turn off the lights.
Turn off the dark.
I actually heard some of it. So the only song I'd ever heard
Spider-Man.
from Spider-Man was "Turn Off the Dark."
Yeah.
I heard the one where the Green Goblin is introducing the Sinister Six. Wow.
That makes me really actually. I need to possibly. I've never actually listened to it.
It's really bad. It's like,
hey, remember that time when we were gonna make a pirate musical?
yeah, we were.
What?
Yeah,
I want to be in it.
We were.
You will, yeah.
I was in Pirates of Penzance.
we were actually minors at the time. What's Julie Taymor's excuse or Bono's excuse? Both greatly awarded, highly respected
Can I ask you
artists in their
something?
field. Yes.
Here's my thing.
Yes.
If Bono
Yes.
had been cast as the Green Goblin,
He probably would have died during
that well, yes, but but that show would have stayed on. It wouldn't have mattered how many people were.
That thing's it still was on for a very long time.
It was, but I mean, like, it would never have failed.
People were genuinely going to that show to see it fail.
That Bono can get into your phone is my like he can convince you to do anything.
I don't know. I'm actually not a big U2 fan. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess not a lot of people are. That's why they're infiltrating albums into people's devices.
Like, listen, you're really gonna love this.
Our volume seems a little low. Let me boost that. I'll be right back. I gotta go to the.
Here, I boosted you two a little bit in Discord. I don't know if that
Let me scream.
is better.
Don't change it.
Oh, okay, then I'm gonna turn it down preemptively.
Oh, okay. How's that? How's that doing?
Sounds better to me.
All right, good. We're a little rushed on this end. I got back from the office like 15 minutes before the stream. I don't know what I'm gonna paint.
Yeah, speaking of which, what are you working on, Toby?
What?
What are you working on today?
From last week, my little corner of my like abandoned / spooky mansion house thing.
Awesome.
I'll lift it up more.
That's looking great. Man, I love like the siding and the wood floor.
Yeah.
Like the stone, the outer exterior and the, man, that's looking awesome.
Last week I did a carpet that's like moved to show a trapdoor underneath it.
Nice. I love the dimensions for like war games too, where you can have a couple models that fit in the little nook and on the interior.
Yeah. It definitely will fit on like a 32 or even maybe 48.
Awesome.
Oh, where are the paints I tried to...
Macy, what are you working on? Are you hobbying and hanging, or are you just hanging?
Hobbying and hanging. I have
Nice.
the castle up. I wanna, yeah, 5 bricks. But I'm also because tonight's episode is the Palentine's theme. I'm gonna make Valentines, and I'm already lost because normally I come into making Valentines with phrases and stuff already prepared, and I have nothing.
Just right. Gun.
That's it. Gun? That'll be
Yeah.
one for you. I'll make you a gun Valentine, Toby.
A gun Valentine? I'm gonna take a picture of
Yeah.
my sister here.
Literally, like, bullet for my Valentine.
So Tyler's doing some illustration, right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. He did all of the art for his live play that he does with Chris, the natural ones. It looks great. So he's an artiste.
Well, I mean, like, you know, and that's even arguable, but I'm much better at this than painting minis.
I used to want to be a comic book artist, and I suck at that. So together, our powers combined, we would be unstoppable.
Our powers combined, we
could do two things pretty good. No.
Well, I mean, if you were a colorist, yeah.
Hey, there you go.
Like,
Chris, if you don't know what to do yet, I propose that while Tyler's drawing, you paint his face.
No.
I don't know. It's a pretty good idea. It's pretty good.
No.
Oh
Hey.
God.
I have a lot of things I want to do. It's just deciding which one, honestly. I have a lot of Ragecraft stuff that I still want to do. Ooh, I could...
I'm surprised. Tyler was for our idea, but you weren't. It's usually the opposite.
See the player's handbook. Here's the thing, Rabbit. I was talking to Nate about it, and we're definitely going to work your mini into the game in some fashion.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the thing, is we were talking about it, we're trying to figure out like the best way to do it, and yeah, we feel bad about the thing, but with how chaotic the game's going to be, we need to make sure everybody knows. We need to make sure everybody's familiar with the system. Is the main thing. But we want to. You've been like such a massive supporter in like every part of the company for so long. It's like, yeah, we're gonna do something. Do online rules lookup. What if this is all a subversion? Oh, that's right. Top of this is here, so I guess I can't say too much. I guess I think everybody is in the game.
we really shouldn't say anything.
We really shouldn't say anything while top of this is here. That's fair.
Or until the week up.
Until the week up. That's fair. Well, we'll have to see. I mean, Wednesday is when we're actually going to decide what's happening everywhere.
I mean, ever. I just mean, like, save it.
I don't know, man. This is like what's on my mind at the moment. That I can talk about in some capacity. I don't know what to do. I would need to glue these. Or I can just paint them myself. I could paint myself a little bit. Or I could just do the spider. I'll do the spider. And then see. Yeah, so I based the spider.
Oh yeah, I love seeing your mini show up, Rabbit.
Let's see. Let's give you a screen background. It's funny because like we have like a severe. So part of the reason why I'm trying to get into painting minis is just because one, I want to use them for our game, for the natural ones, but also we actually have like a severe lack of minis around the office. Outside of like the ones that we made, but we haven't made that many. So especially as we started doing like these live stream games, we keep running into situations where it's like, oh, we don't really have anything to represent like this stuff that we wanna do.
I mean, yeah. Also, between the fact that like there's so many other mini companies out there that we keep trying to make the these minis that are like very unique to a situation, and
Yeah.
also there's some things we can't do because of copyright stuff. Yeah, we can't
know-
really cover a lot of stuff with the stuff we have in the office.
For Matt Lillard's game, he wanted to use a bunch of myconids, and we do not have any myconids at the office, partially because we don't have a lot of minis, period, but also mostly because Nate just really hates myconids for some reason. So we especially don't have any myconids around the office.
This is not
So,
a fun guy.
so I backed, part of the reason I backed the Broken Anvil Kickstarter was because I'm gonna get like 10 myconids from it. Quite a few myconids. I can't remember what the exact count was. So we'll actually have myconids now, which will be nice. And then Mouse Folk and Frog Folk, but honestly, that's more for the natural ones than for Dwarven Forge. I'm excited. Good thing for the Broken Anvil Kickstarter? Exactly. The holder is copyrighted, just make floating eye beast.
Yeah.
Floating eye beast. Legally distinct.
It's an eye beauty possessor.
You can call it One-Eyed Terror.
With a heart of gold.
No. I don't like the implications of that. I'm trying to figure out what the best thing to do
Oh,
with...
a wasp carrier. A
I'm trying to
bee
figure out what
holder.
the best thing to do with a spider would be. Because I feel like black is already like just a really threatening color for it in the first place. So I based the whole thing in black, and I'm like, do I really want to?
Well, think about
Like-
wolf spiders or black widows, or like they accentuate parts of their.
Yeah, like put white or red on the ridges or something, or
Mhm.
like I know I want to get like the fangs a different color.
Well, because it's about camouflage, right? They're predators.
That's fair.
Sorry, what's that, Mace?
You should use yellow. Yellow. That's a pretty venomous, threatening color.
That too.
Ooh.
That too. Difference between poisonous and venomous.
Hmm. Yeah, I think being poisonous is better than wait.
Being poisonous means...
Being venomous is better than being poisonous for the spider.
Yeah.
People are going to try to eat the spider. What?
Being poisonous means that, like, a frog is poisonous, and so if it was eaten...
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Nobody's going to try to eat the spider, so it's
Okay,
better
I
for it
thought
to
you
be.
said-
So it's
yeah.
better for this to be venomous than poisonous.
Moving it.
Yeah. You can look up colorful spiders and probably give yourself nightmares and also unique ideas. Man, I want to paint a peacock shrimp.
What is that?
Have you not seen a peacock shrimp?
No.
Dude, look it up. Look up a peacock shrimp. Show it to the chat. Peacock shrimps are like super colorful.
Is it like
Like,
an
where am I
anchor
gonna get a peacock shrimp mini? Etsy. I can probably find one on Etsy.
Hold on, what did you
honestly.
say, Toby?
shrimp? Is it like a mantis shrimp?
There's mantis shrimps as well. Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking. Oh no!
Oh my God.
A peacock mantis shrimp is what it is.
So it's both.
A peacock mantis shrimp. We're thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Look at how colorful that thing is.
This is
They
amazing.
punch hard. They punch really hard.
Mm.
I would not be able to do that blending. Orb weaver spiders are black and yellow, not dangerous to people though. Interesting.
Bone weevil?
Huh?
Sorry, what?
Orb weaver spider.
Oh, okay.
Bone weevil? Where?
Charming.
Send me pictures of
I just
Orb
came out of-
weaver Spider-Man. Had to check out the DF forums. Find it hard to find stuff there sometimes. Yeah, the cool pictures forum is really good for inspiration. Everburner's got a lot of really cool battlefields there.
All right, so I'm gonna show the shrimp, but it's trading places with you guys. So bye. It's shrimp stream now.
Bye. Enjoy the shrimp. Yo, shrimp stream.
Goodbye,
Shrimp
thank
stream.
Shrimp stream.
This thing looks really cool though.
I like that. And
Yeah, this is real, man. This is.
Yeah, it's a real. This is a real creature. It's in Animal Crossing New Horizons.
that makes it real, right?
Awesome.
It's a real creature. I want to paint one of those. I want to base a paint scheme. Could you imagine a giant one of these?
That'd be insane.
Could you imagine fighting like a colossal creature that you have to mount like
Like a Remerhaz.
yeah, like a Remoraz, but it's a peacock mantis shrimp. like a tropical Remoraz, basically. That could be really cool. Ooh,
Alright, Toby, your Valentine's is done.
that'd be fun.
Oh, you're making us Valentines?
We'll do that when we
Well,
do
Toby
the.
wanted one of us done. I made Toby a Valentine.
Someone was talking on Facebook about how, like in high school or middle school, whatever it was, you know, you could send Valentines to kids in other classes, right? But it was one of two things. Like 2/3 of the people just wouldn't get one and would feel awful. Or in my case, the student council would send one to people who didn't get one, which is almost worse. You're just like, oh, I gotta. Oh, okay. I know what this is. This is president of the student council. Good times, you know. One Valentine's
I'll
Day,
make a...
I had my dad take me to the grocery store to get a carnation. And then I got like a little paper Harry Potter Valentine from Target on which I wrote a poem in cursive. And I put these together and I gave it to my crush Molly in 4th grade. And she sat behind me. And so I turned around and gave it to her, and then it came back over my shoulder in pieces.
Oh, no.
That's pretty badass. That's
Tore
a
it
great
up!
move.
Threw it back.
Hey, but here's the thing though, Hamster. Were you confused?
I
Do not know
was.
where you stood?
Whoa!
You got a pretty clear answer.
Yeah, you gotta appreciate her being so direct.
That's true.
You could have been led on for 6 years.
You know what my dad did?
What's up?
Took me to church.
Oh!
Oh,
I mean, he did do that, but I was mostly.
I was gonna say, did your dad also like turn you down on Valentine's Day?
My dad has definitely ripped up several things that I've given him. Yes.
Oh! Palentines!
Yeah, Valentine's. Yeah. What's up?
I was gonna say, just so Toby's not the only one getting one, I'll make Valentine's for everybody on the stream.
I mean, don't feel pressure.
Otherwise, it's not fair.
Or
No,
do,
it's too late.
if
I
it
feel
means we
pressed.
get stuff.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it kind of depends on the stuff.
I just thought
Yeah.
Yeah, is it cool?
You'll have to tell me to set it up. Ah! Yes,
No.
it's cool.
No, Molly's doing great, guys. She ended up marrying the pitcher of my Little League baseball team who joined the Navy, I think. So yeah, they're doing pretty good.
Is he still?
Do they have a baseball team?
Yes, he
still
is
pitching?
to this day 28 years old, still pitching on the Little League team. Yeah,
He's allowed on because the rest of the team.
he is
are
running
good.
train on these kids.
What's that, Toby?
I thought you said the picture of the Little League.
Oh,
It's like
she married the picture. She's like, I can't just pick one.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. He's still reminiscing about his Little League days. We were gonna go pro.
Yeah,
If I
Yeah.
didn't start acting up, I was gonna be the.
right. Pro
My mom had
from
grounded me.
from our in-house Little League team, not even the traveling team that goes to like state, just like within the town.
Oh, okay, when you said in-house, I thought you were meaning like indoor baseball,
No.
and I was also gonna be like, that's insane.
No,
He's,
it's like the actual competitive league, and then us that are just screwing around.
I remember that because I remember playing baseball for years, and then I got to be like, which is also really hard when you move around as much as we did
Yeah.
growing up. And so, I got to the point where I was like 11 or 12, and it was right at the cusp of just being like, look, if you want to keep being in this sport, you gotta get good.
Yeah.
Or like you gotta be dedicated. And I was like, oh, I really just enjoy this game. That's all I really wanted to
Or
Yeah.
do with it. So bye.
get your dad to be one of the coaches.
Right.
That too, which
Yeah,
Then you
I
could be one of-
Oh man, my coach Chuck was also a hockey coach in Minnesota, which means he was a beephole. He was a short, hot-headed guy yelling at middle schoolers. You know, getting red in the face, yelling at middle schoolers for losing in-house baseball games.
That's just how he gets
That
off.
sounds like a dream job, though.
Mace, I feel like you'd be a great Four Seasons coach.
If only I knew any.
He means you could coach the Four Seasons Total Landscaping T-ball team.
Yeah.
That'd be great at it.
I just mean you would be a coach for all seasons. You'd dominate the winter hockey. You come into spring with baseball, some summer sport.
I know it.
And then
The Olympics.
the Olympics, yeah. Well, that's every 2 years, right? So every 2 years she's
No,
doing.
it's every 4 years, because every 2 years, because you do both the winter and the summer.
Yeah,
Oh, then I have a
exactly.
winter one.
Coach for all seasons is what I'm telling you.
Just
Oh, you want
imagine.
to see the Valentine?
Done.
Should I save it? Yeah, it's done.
Done.
Well, it's not a lot of thought and care put into these
I'll see
Valentines.
it.
I'll
I need to be
show
able to-
it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna need to
So
show
the
me the
front
time sheet
says-
of these Valentines.
Oh
Can you even see this?
no!
No.
Put your hand next to it or something.
It's a nice white rectangle. That's what I see.
I can't.
I don't know why we can't see
Here,
it.
let
You're using a red dragon for your looking, right? Come on.
Can you see that?
What is that? A Sony FS7?
I mean, the best part is it could be anything.
I'm pretty sure. I really thought the Ursa Pro had a better sensor than this.
I'm gonna go ahead and just give it to Toby. I almost said in class, so wow.
Yes.
That's where we're at. Yeah.
But now that everyone's given one, it just feels like you're my guidance counselor. So,
I am.
Hey, my guidance counselor was cool, man.
Okay.
Great.
Awesome.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
that's wonderful, Hamster.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Wow.
Yeah. So the
Very impressive.
The thing about when I was in baseball is I was like really fast, but I didn't practice. Like all the kids were like super into it, and they would practice outside of practice, and I just like wanted to show up. So I was pretty fast, but I like wasn't good at hitting. So like I would strike out. If I got on base, I could like steal bases and stuff. But normally he'd be like, "All right, why don't you try to bunt?" You know, he's giving me the signal. Just bunt, Miller.
I love the idea of.
I just wanted to be a pinch runner, meaning they would hit the ball and I would start running.
Yeah. I had the plate ready to run.
Heading to the plate.
Put me in, coach. But like only in this way.
Dude, that song. The "Put Me In, Coach." You didn't know that song?
I don't know that song.
That song is like irrevocably tied to like Pizza Hut and like the 90s for me.
I don't know that song either, so.
My
I don't
90s
either.
are full of like rad and skateboarding.
Oh, the same kids would say rad, like for sure.
yeah. But like I didn't. You know what's weird? I don't remember a lot of commercials for Pizza Hut outside of the commercial that played on the VHS tape of the first Ninja Turtles movie. But I do really remember Godfather's Pizza for some reason because that
God,
got a lot of commercials around my area for whatever reason.
I love Godfather's Pizza. We would get the lunch buffet and go to town. And there, yeah, and even the adults, the dessert when the dessert pizza hit the buffet, oh, we were ravenous. We were fighting tooth and nail to get that dessert pizza.
We're gonna
Godfather's Pizza, a restaurant so bad it made kids take pizza.
we're gonna make you some olives you can't refuse.
What?
What's
Their
that?
dessert pizza is like
Oh.
out of this world, though. Like their dessert
Yes.
pizza is incredible.
That's why you
That's
go
one
there.
that deserve-
Right,
It's
out
like
of
a
this
cinnamon
world, like,
sugar.
banned in most countries. Legally not allowed on this planet.
Well, technically, you just can't call it pizza.
You need to put a warning like "will kill."
Surgeons General. Surgeon General's warning.
We need you to sign over 5 years of your life right now before you order this pizza.
That's what it's taking.
Yeah, sign a waiver.
Do you remember that? Was it a pizza
what's
commercial that was
next,
like?
theme?
What's up, Mace?
I was gonna say, what's the next theme for the card?
Titles.
Fish out of water.
T-ball. Baseball.
I heard turtles. What was the other two? T-ball.
Fish out of water.
Okay, so Tyler, you're gonna get a card about fish. You're gonna get a card about T-ball, Chris, and then you're gonna get totals.
Okay.
Anybody remember that pizza commercial that was too long? That was also baseball themed. It was a kid that was like, it was like a ballad about the kid that got put in right field because nobody trusted him to do anything.
Okay, that I remember.
Wait a minute, I was in right field.
I also played right field, but they were like, it's because you got a great arm.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, and so it's like, I play right field. It's important, you know. You gotta know
we don't
how
want to
to
get
catch.
sued like '90s Pizza Hut.
We gotta know how to throw. If we gotta like. Well, that's the thing. Is the unfortunate thing is you have to do the trial, like in the state where the plaintiff is. So we'd have to go back to the '90s. You gotta know how to catch.
You know what the thing that the lawyers didn't have to worry about in the '90s though? Becoming cats.
That video is like the funniest thing I've ever seen.
That was.
The baseball
I just
fell into my glove.
I just want everybody in the. I
I
want it
am
on the
here,
record. I am here. I'm not a cat.
I just like when he's like, I am prepared to go forward with this. It's like, I'll do it. I'll freaking do it as a cat. I don't care. He's
I'll
like-
take your head on this. I understand what this means.
There was this video, Toby. There's like lawyers had a Zoom meeting with the judge, and the guy had a filter on where it was the mocap of a cat, and he didn't know how to turn it off.
I love the judge also just trying to be like, it seems like
It
seems
looks
to have a
like
filter on.
there's a filter. And he was so flustered, like his first sound, he's like on mute, he's like, oh, yeah.
My favorite thing is like, I think you may have a filter on, and the cat's eyes immediately just like,
Yeah, right. The way the eyes were following, oh man, it's gold.
And the mouth moves too.
Yeah.
So good.
Like the cat looked as desperate as the guy.
Man.
I mean, at least it's like
New age of cat internet content.
Yeah.
yeah,
way back.
at least it's not anything like shady.
Right.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, it's not like
fun.
no.
Worse.
Baseball fell into my glove.
It's gonna be the
Into
rest
your
of
what?
it. It's gonna be it. forever.
Deception.
No.
Screws.
Toby, now you're into it.
I'm only not into it when it's 2 a.m. and I
that
want to go to bed so bad.
that's reasonable.
Kickstarter, we bust out not one of us from Disney's straight to DVD hit Lion King 2.
I feel like if you have to add straight to DVD hit.
Yeah, right.
The Goofy movie was straight to DVD, and that is genuinely one of the. We talked about this on stream last night. I gotta bring Goofy movie in for Nate to watch with his kids.
Oh, he's never watched it?
He's never watched it. He didn't know it existed. I'm like, dude, this is like one of the best father-son movies you can watch with your
That's
kids
really
at the
cool.
age that they're at right now.
That
You
could
gotta
be
you gotta
cool.
show it to them before they become teenagers, so that they won't be brats when they're like they'll be like, oh, I wanna complain about my dad to my kids, but what if we go fishing later? Like maybe I shouldn't. You gotta get those lessons in when they're young.
I saw this tweet that was like, a Goofy movie comes out. There's no way this could be goofier. An extremely goofy movie comes out. Oh my god.
Goofy movie is genuinely good.
I love that one.
Let's disagree.
The disco scene with the librarian.
Yes. Yes.
What? Like, oh man. It's.
I was a skateboarder as a kid, so I loved the X Games stuff.
I thought about skateboards a lot.
Oh yeah, I remember
Oh,
your
that's
speech.
really deep. Like, Chris, thank you.
Yeah, there's still a
However,
video
It's
that
not about.
there's still a video that exists on YouTube called Aaron's Heart of Burnsville Sesh.
Is that where you showed off your prowess as was it a flip master?
Lot of falls. Lot of falls in that video. But I did launch myself over 7 stairs, and if I did all the things that I wanted to do on the skateboard at that time, I would have died.
I launched myself. You're not giving yourself the credit of like I landed it. You're like
No, dude. I would look at some staircases like I could probably do that. I'm like 14, 15. I would have been smoked. I would have just been done.
You're like Miller, who died too young, being too
Yeah.
long.
Have you seen that video of skateboarders jumping off this like drop in like a parking lot? And it's like and the cat like the phone like follows them like jumping off this like 10-foot drop, and then it goes back and a truck just goes over the drop right after.
A truck goes off of it? Wait, what?
I think I saw
Oh
that.
my god. Oh no.
You didn't give yourself credit. Oh my god. Where am I gonna get water? In this pandemic? Okay.
That was great. Thank you, MC Crime Dog. Totally missed that. Yeah, it was a fun little clip that was going around recently. Oh, the lawyer bit.
Yeah.
That's my favorite thing is that what happened was he has a kid in that house that used that computer for a Zoom call with friends.
What's even worse is that he calls his kid his assistant, not even his child.
Yeah, my assistant is trying to fix.
He was just worried about seeming even more unprofessional. So he's like, yeah, my assistant. Yeah, why would his assistant be there?
Yeah.
If they're doing a Zoom call, like, shouldn't this all be from home anyways? I don't know. I guess maybe he would have an assistant. Like, yeah, no, the assistant was definitely his
I
kid.
mean, we say that, but then some of our, meetings are like some of us are in the office. So.
Yeah, they sometimes take place in an amphitheater.
What's that supposed to mean? Oh, you're talking about. Okay, yeah. Nice.
I didn't. No, it's not. It's just an amphitheater. It just happened.
Yeah, it just happens. Nobody makes it happen on purpose because they think it's fun.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. So.
Me either.
Need a drink.
Oh. What are your guys' favorite animated movies?
Ratatouille.
Dude, I love you. Like, Ratatouille was
Happy
straight up a
Valentine's
perfect movie for a long time. Then Coco happened, and it might be Coco.
Oh,
now.
you know what? That's true.
Like-
Coco's definitely up there.
Like,
And what better way to tell him I love him than a viewing of Ratatouille?
the only what I really love about Ratatouille is that it still like makes complete sense the whole way through, and like I get it. I don't feel like I'm missing anything, even though I never saw the first one.
Wait, what?
God dang it.
Like Banjo-Tooie?
I didn't even that
Yeah.
that one left me aghast. I just didn't even say I couldn't even make a sound at first.
Has anyone seen the knockoff movie Ratatouille?
Yeah, you told me about that.
That sounds like the verb version of like doing a Ratatouille, of like having a small mammal control you.
It's horrible. It's 3 really poorly animated rats who steal their food from a kitchen next door, an even worse animated cat. I won't spoil the ending, but they use this like suiting up sequence where it's like the rats are getting ready to go on a stealth mission twice, and it's the longest part of the entire film.
Dude,
And it's
recycled
so
animation.
Huh?
Recycled animation is like the hallmark of cheap animation studios that they just use to pump out knockoffs.
Disney did the same thing.
Speaking of bad animation movies, have everyone ever heard about the Titanic, the animated movie?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I know. What
There's
you're talking-
apparently two of them, but like one of them, like a rapping dog, and then like
Yep.
A
how the sunk- the
rapping
Titanic
dog?
sunk. Yeah,
Yeah,
the Titanic
he-
sunk was apparently
he's
just throwing
crazy
ice
for
at the
rap.
Titanic.
Don't forget the sequel, Ratatouille. they had to put that one under a different company. They wouldn't let Pixar. Disney wouldn't publish the M-rated like action movie. Have you seen Soul yet?
Yeah.
You saw Soul.
That one
Yeah,
I
I saw
haven't seen.
I enjoyed it in some ways, and I think it had. I think it just had a really difficult position to try to like. We have a story we want to tell, and there's just some choices that you see that it's like, yeah, this seems like this was studio choices, and it's not. And sometimes it wouldn't be as obvious in most cases, but that one, it kind of becomes very glaringly obvious that, like, yeah, your studio made you do these kind of things. And that's unfortunate because it feels like your movie could have been more than these one-off jokes. So,
But you think there's moments that are really?
I think there's conversations that are happening that I'm like, yeah, I'm really into this. I think the other half of it is that it's like, it feels more like an extension of Inside Out than its own concept.
That's kind of what I was. I only saw the marketing, but that's kind of what it seemed like to me too. Was that.
it's a further exploration of some kind of thing like that, and so it's like that's not why I have a problem with it. It's just more like it lost some individuality there. Anyway,
Yeah.
check it out. Form your own thought, but like it's worth watching. I just
Sure.
I can't recommend it above Coco. I can't recommend it above like Wall-E or the other ones I really love. So
I
it's
gotta
like,
see Wall-E again. It's been too long.
Wally's very good, man.
I remember liking it.
On a previous note that you were saying, no, Disney Studios recycled animation all the time. What they call it is the onion skin, right? So like they recycled main stills of animation. So if you look at something like Aristocats, and then you look at Robin Hood, and then you look at like Rescuers, right? The first one. If you look at the animation, you can see the cycles are the same. Like there's a chase, or like even Jungle Book, especially Jungle Book and Robin Hood are the ones where you can definitely tell, like predominantly.
I've seen that side by side.
Yeah, like if you put them side by side, or you put them layered over atop of each other, they do the same sequence, and then just put a different background over it. So it's like, it's partially why by the late '80s you got stuff like Oliver and Company, and it's like, wow, this animation is garbage.
Yeah. Also, I read something like an article on that recently, and then apparently, yeah, they recycle a lot, but like so that like in Sword in the Stone Forest, one of them they just use the same exact like horse and the rider, and like they just copied it onto another movie or something like that.
Oh wow.
What I mean by recycled animation, though, with a little bit with like knockoff studios and stuff,
Yeah.
is they will literally like,
Well, they'll just take the same sequence and just do it again.
yeah, like literally play like a 3-minute sequence again, and just like put like a voiceover. But it's like this is literally just the exact same visuals for an extended period of time. Yeah.
I guess they saw things like Sailor Moon or something like that with the transformation sequence. Like, oh, we can do this. We can just
That's what anime does, right? Like, yeah, that's why anime has transformation sequences, or it's small ways for a studio to save money in the long breadth of a show. And like most anime, that's why it's like, hey, we've got a 2-minute intro where you hear the whole song that we had somebody make for us, or
Yeah.
and we did an entire animation sequence to, and then you have a 2-minute intro where we recap the past like 3 episodes, and then you have about 18 minutes of an episode, and then you watch like 3 minutes of credits again. It's like, well, not 3, like
The anime theme
So
slaps.
a minute and a half for intro and a minute and a half.
yeah, like it's like
Yeah.
the amount of time you're actually watching the show is much more reduced, and then on top of that, when you have like recycled, like I gotta see the same face like 8 times. I'm like,
I'm talking
all right.
about stuff like Food Fight, where they have a
I
fight
know
sequence
what
at the
you're talking
end,
about.
and like they like genuinely like they play the same shot of people being like hit with food like at least 20 times. They like cut to like somebody doing something, and they cut, and it's like it's the same characters and the same like it's wild. It is like
Someone
making
has a
sense.
lot of eggs. Just the same food. I like Aristocrats and like that era, and you can see the like hand-drawn guidelines and stuff that like weren't fully erased and stuff.
Yeah,
kinda neat.
man. When it was like when Disney was like super analog.
Mm-hmm.
There's something very nice about that era of animation.
Yeah.
It's just cozy.
Also, I don't know. I mean, I haven't watched it in a long time, but I think this is DreamWorks. But I would cry at the end of Meet the Robinsons. Did we see
was
that
pretty-
one?
That was Disney?
Yeah, Meet the Robinsons was Disney.
Oh, it was. Okay.
Robots was DreamWorks.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Robots was Fox. I don't
was
know if it was
Fox?
DreamWorks.
Oh, okay.
We had
But
that
sorry,
one too, but
Meet the Robinsons is a great movie.
yeah, I love that one.
I think it's one of those early mid 2000s animations that like started to do a thing that we've been doing now since like 2015. Like more and more movies and animation, especially talking about like this sort of like empathic relationship in the story to the villain by the
Yeah.
end of it.
Yes.
I really enjoy that. Like I don't need a Cruella de Vil anymore. We got
Yes.
that.
Oh, speaking of Little League, his Little League sequence. Oh, this is why I cried. It's that, and at the end when he's like all happy, and then Rob Thomas from Matchbox 20 comes in for the credit song. He's like, "These little wonders, all these twisting turns of fate." I'm like, hell yeah.
You ever see Chicken Little?
I did love Tom Selleck as the
I
in
love
there.
Chicken Little.
And Chicken Little was another
Chicken Little was good.
People really
genuinely funny one.
People really hate Chicken Little. Yeah, Chicken Little gets a lot of
I
flack.
don't know why. 'Cause it was genuinely pretty funny.
I always thought it was good.
I've only heard good about it.
I guess
What's
I was
that,
a
Mace?
dumb kid.
I've only heard good things about it.
I never watched it.
I've seen it every time I've seen it online recently. It's always been as like an example of like, hey, remember when this was really bad?
I liked that movie.
I think okay.
I
So
also was in middle school, so
Yeah, that's another thing I'm wondering if it was just the age I was at.
yeah, maybe. But okay. So here's my thing: is that like yeah, even to a small like as great as Coco is, it's like yeah, I can still see where the story was going, and that's not a bad thing, right? Like having like just because like yeah, I liked it as a middle schooler. It's like yeah, I liked Back to the Future when I was a middle schooler, and as an adult, I like it too. Maybe I like it a little bit less, but like I do. No, I'm just saying. It's like maybe I do, but like I genuinely think that your perception is probably not going to change so much that something that is good when you're a kid. There's more likelihood that something that you liked as a kid, you'll still like it as an adult.
I don't know, man.
Like I don't think I want to watch Power Rangers.
I tried
'Cause that shit, that is just like
I tried watching Rurouni Kenshin, and woof.
yeah, sure. Did you watch it? Maze, or did you?
I watched it dubbed, but like
That's what.
all I'm saying is after seeing how good the live action movies of Rurouni Kenshin were, I was like,
Ooh,
oh
live
man,
action
I
movies?
missed this show. Yeah, there are 3 live action Rurouni Kenshin movies, and they're actually like really good samurai movies.
And they're and
Like-
because they also kind of like speed through the story. They kind of like take you through the whole.
Yeah,
thing.
they only hit the important stuff. There's like some really beautiful shots. Like literally every bit of it. The fight choreography is really good. The acting is actually really good. The writing is better than the animes was. And like there's a lot of just genuinely beautiful shots. Like we watched. I remember when we watched the first one, we thought it was going to be like a thing to laugh at, and then we watched it, and at the end of it, we were just like, that was actually like just a really really good movie. And we watched the other two. The first one's definitely the best. The other two are like a two-parter movie, so neither one of them really stands on its own. But the first one is like
Like the Matrix.
the Matrix. The second and third Matrix barely stand together.
So, I guess the other feeling I have on some of that stuff too is that it's like it's so easy to it feels really easy to just like crap on stuff and hate it. Oh my gosh, man, that looks so cool.
Yeah, I was doing the wood texture on this. And
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Broken woods and stuff. I love the. I know it's not like the most important thing, but I do love the little steps up to the door. Like
Yeah,
that is.
thanks. I want to get like the torn wallpaper inside as well.
Whoa, that's sweet.
It's a little blurry, but yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I was just very briefly showing it. It wasn't textured at all, so it's not going to be.
Oh, it's fine. I don't know.
Sorry to disappoint you.
Sometimes it feels easier to crap on stuff than it is to just like
It really is.
genuinely critique something and love it. Like that's what Mustang's art does a lot of the time. Like she'll talk about
There are ways to discuss the shortcomings of things that that aren't phrased and targeted in a way that'll make the person who made it feel bad.
as well as I love this thing. I want to say something about it. What's up, Mace?
I'm just changing my setup. I was gonna give a warning. I'm gonna cut my video real quick, but I'll still be here. I just wanna.
What are
my
you
back's
up to?
hurting from sitting on
Get ready to mess with those overlays.
sitting on the floor, and I'm aging quickly.
Hey,
Every day I-
Finley.
Oh my bad.
Every week I do the hamster hobby hang. I age 10 years.
Where did
True.
the figure come from? It came from an Etsy shop. Somebody posted it in the Discord, and Hamster and I were both like, "Dude,
Yeah.
that looks so good."
I got every single one of them.
Yeah, they did look really good. I was thinking about picking some up, but we already got turtles.
Mhm.
Knighthood,
I don't
how
know.
are ya?
Yeah.
Orion. Yeah, Etsy shop. Let me just look at the email. Tell you the shop.
Yeah, you can find some really good sculpts on Etsy. Yeah, plugging that shop would be good. Because there's what 10 figures, 10 portals.
Yeah.
in that thing?
Layer of Morganicus.
You want to put a link in chat or?
I like those.
But yeah, just in regards to like looking back on things, when I was like younger and started making YouTube stuff, like a really big trend on like YouTube is there's a lot of people who make their living off of talking about other people's work, and a lot of them can be less than charitable with it. And you know, when I was younger, like I really liked that content, and I started making that stuff when I started. And the older I got, the more I realized that I didn't want to start. I didn't want to get in the habit of deriving my worth by like demeaning other people's stuff.
Well, that's why I really like listening to Matt.
Which Matt?
Matt Haynes.
Cool.
Yeah, his stuff is a lot about like.
I was like, man, there's so many Matts.
For sure. But that's why I like listening to Matt Haynes because like he has that as well. He has a very positive critique of stuff,
what do you want?
and it's about how do I enjoy this thing, and I think that's the thing I care about more. And the same thing with like Satchel or Captain Christian or there's certain people
Satchel is the
who
friend.
talk about things in that way or do like these sort of essays or things that like talk about these things, and it's more about how do I love this thing, how can I get to a place to appreciate it for what it is, and then also still say like, yeah, you guys need to fix this.
I always try to phrase it in a way where, so I'm trying to look at things when I evaluate them. I'm trying to get to the point now where when I look at them, I'm not asking about like, well, what would I want, and then like treat that as like whether something's good or bad based on my taste, but more like I try to figure out like what does it seem like they're trying to do, and then talk about it from either the perspective of here's how I think they could have accomplished what they were trying to do more, or talk about it from the perspective of like, I kind of wonder what it would be like if they tried shooting for this thing instead, and just like I know it's not what they're trying to do, but I think it would be interesting to think about this. It's also, I don't know. I think it's also just as I've gotten more into making things, I started realizing like how much you can really mess with somebody if you just like, I don't know, like whenever a video goes like viral on YouTube, and it's a video that's like phrased like insert name
The
of
18
thing.
things that this show could have done better.
Not even that
Or
so
did
much.
wrong.
Not even that so much, but it's when people say things like insert name of property was a massive disappointment, or insert name of thing like ruined my life, or whatever. It's just a thing where it's like people like worked on that. Like somebody, whether you think like the thing was like a corporate hack job or not, somebody in that process likely like really cared about it and was trying to like. Nobody can ever really, people I think, can actually fully separate their ego from what they're trying to make. And so when you make stuff like that, it's just like, I don't know. There's better ways to go about it. But it's also the stuff that's like really eye-catching to people. There's a lot of people who pull their worth from diminishing other people's. It's unfortunate. I try to contribute to that as little as possible.
Did you find that link?
Yeah, put it in chat.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't.
Yeah, I was putting some of the other ones on camera too. There's some cool ones.
Yes, Kat, you are antsy today. Please don't call me. What do you want?
Oh, worms are always wearing turtlenecks.
Yeah?
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah, they have that tube thing.
Right. Right.
Sorry.
That's sick.
This
That's
is the
sick.
second- What was it? I screamed something earlier too.
That's freaking sick,
I'm
Mace.
going through stuff. Thank
We were
you.
just talking.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. Got a gas leak going on over here, so a lot of my sentences.
Mace, get out of there.
I could.
Well, at least you'll have a castle to move into.
There you go.
Cat, Sally, hi.
No,
She gone?
no, she's just trying to decide.
She's standing on the
Come
table
here.
here trying to figure out what she's gonna do.
Come here.
All right. So, progress check. So, I'm trying to like do stripes on the legs.
Whoa, cool.
To get that thing up there. So obviously it's still hi. Yep. All right. She's sniffing it out. If you're coming up, come up. Oh my god. Come on. So I'm trying to do that. I'm liking the way it's coming out. It's coming out as like way more fluorescent on camera than it is in person, which is fascinating. Kind of like that. It looks a bit dangerous. And I'm trying to make this more dry brushy so that it looks more like individual hairs,
Yeah,
as
yeah.
opposed to like I imagine the legs being more chitinous, so like the colors are more they're like harder colors, whereas this I want it to look more like it's like there's some black hairs mixed in there and all that. Then I need to work on the face next. But yeah, that's where that's at.
Nice.
The other view wasn't as bright. Yeah, I think it's the difference between a webcam sensor and a DSLR sensor. Also, I did not have time to like test to make sure everything was set up in the best possible way. She almost just pulled the mouse off the table. She's doing a drum. Yeah, whenever we've actually had a mouse, she's
That's true.
Make short work.
People try to make comic books.
What's that? Oh,
People
you
are
asked
trying to make comic books. Yeah.
You made the strip for the thing once, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
What's up?
Try to make comics once.
Nothing.
She was asking about your comic books. That you wanted to make.
Oh. Oh yeah, like way back. Way back, I want to be a cartoonist, and then like graphic novels, and then animation, and then acting, which is still making characters, and now I'm painting little characters. So how about that?
About it.
Yeah, I doodled.
Gross.
I dabbled in doodling.
I doodled.
Now. Yeah, I see you. Jesus.
She like just keeps hitting things like.
And then my favorite is when she looks back. She's like, "What?
Is she doing it for attention?
Something about it?
Hitting things?
I don't know what she wants. She has food. She has water.
She loves destruction. That's her third."
Cats are all chaotic neutral. Hit my cavern Steve this afternoon. We made a hell of a dent in my unpainted sets.
Nice.
Okay, for a second I was like, oh, contact customer support, but you just meant that you actually painted a lot of it, not that you actually dented any pieces. So it's... I got worried when I saw a hell of a dent, and I was like, uh-oh. That shouldn't be happening. Try Control Z. Is that a TV or is somebody just shouting through the wall?
Sorry, that was me in Harlem.
Music. No, somebody's just talking. Somebody's just talking
Okay.
that loud.
Alright.
I can't hear it at all.
Yeah, it's not enough to be picked up on our mic because I have a good mic. But,
Oh. I mean, you guys.
2020.
You're in for the feature.
The Audio Technica 2020 has great noise isolation feature.
Yeah, it does a really good job showing only a burp during a meeting.
Well, not only that, when you get right up on the mic, you really get the texture of it. You really process the gaps in between each little,
You actually can taste the
Oh God.
Oh, chunky.
Alright, Tyler, yours is done.
Sweet.
I don't know if I moved spots in my apartment, so I don't know if you can actually see it now.
I saw it for a second there.
Assuming no.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
Alright.
Dude.
Alright. And
Yeah.
then we got a scared worm.
I want to see mine.
That comment came about.
Yeah, I didn't get to see mine. Can I see mine?
What? I'll grab yours. Give me a second. My entire living room
Now.
gets rearranged for the castle, so there's a lot of maze with right now.
Right now. Right here, right now.
Big baby, I'll do it in a minute.
No, I can't wait a minute.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Let's see.
Hylar, got it.
Hylar.
Okay. Toby, yours is I've only done 2. So really my least favorite so far is Tyler's, but it's only because yours is my favorite.
Done.
It just came to me. Tyler's was harder.
I was forced.
the
is what
front-
you're saying.
Yeah, it is. The front's pretty hard to see, but it's just flowers. It says
Roses are red. Violence is fun.
Oh my god.
Monkey with a gun.
I need to make that channel in the Discord.
Yeah, you can do it later.
Yeah. Let's see.
All right, now we
people
got
ask earlier
T-Ball.
what the thing Toby is sculpting is. It's for fun. It's not for KS8.
Yeah.
It's not a meme.
Just for fun and also just practicing and stuff like
It's
that.
for us
Just
to make things that are not for work. Because we have to remember that that exists. We have to make things just
it
for
wouldn't
ourselves.
be, it wouldn't be hobby hang if it was work.
That's true.
Working
We have all the
man.
viewers like talking whenever we start one of these streams. Alright, welcome to a work stream.
We're gonna be sweating in this shop.
I like that a lot.
No. That's not.
He was, wow, he was really proud of that one.
He
Yeah,
was.
you've never told a joke that's bad as that.
Name one joke.
I can't.
Oh, you
It's
like
3.
jokes? Name 3.
Wait, can you?
3, 2, 1, funny.
3, 2, 1, funny.
Wait, Chris. You know a joke besides I hardly even knew her? To be fair, you do that one a lot.
Disgrace. Evil is plain as the scars on his face. Yes, Cat. What can I do?
710, Mark.
710. Mark it.
When we're full voice singing, we've hit that point.
What's the plan for it? Is it part of a bigger ideas? I don't know. Are you making a collection of these for yourself, Toby, or you just is this like its own thing?
Well, it's like initially I wanted it to be a collection where I was like, we go together and like the different rooms of it. Like this would be just the entryway, like kind of like a swampy, like just like overgrown stuff going on outside. The walls are broken, and then like inside, like more like spooky or haunted, like furniture. And then maybe I was thinking, oh, we can do like different rooms of it, and build it up, or I don't know. But I just
You've
wanted
got
to.
options and you're not necessarily tied to any of them currently.
Yeah, might do some like fun, like
Open.
under the rafters things on the side over here, like side of the sculpt. I see. I should try to cast that. Yeah, cast and then maybe I'll give a shot at painting it.
Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Really cool little custom piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice little
Okay, so
entryway.
we
Like you
can
said,
go-
like there's an entryway that's really cool.
Yeah. Dog. It's a dog.
Dog.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, man.
She's purring. She purrs so loud. Let's see.
Chris, I don't know how to make your card. I think T-Ball is too strange a subject.
Ice T-ball.
Hmm.
T-ball steak.
It's just a slab of meat
What if we just make it
on
worse?
a pole that you have to try to
Try to whack it.
yeah. You gotta tenderize that meat.
You got to tenderize that meat. Digging up those bones. She's purring while also crying about it. She's purring so loud, then he moves. She's like, "Ah." Yeah, look at that. But she won't stop purring.
And for you all, I shall give you nothing.
I heard that's like a Torty's just had that kind of attitude.
Yeah, she's very, very neurotic.
She constantly needs attention. Yeah, she drools like mad. That's the important thing.
And my Torty just stay in bed and just hisses at the cat or me when I try to move her when I go to sleep.
She just gripes. She doesn't really hiss that often until there's another animal in the house.
She does not like.
Or it just growls a little
Yeah,
bit.
she hates everything else. Loves people.
She actually,
Hamster.
she actually was better around Momo than she was kittens. I thought like, oh, maybe kittens will be. With Momo, she would actually like sit in the same room somewhat.
Yeah.
With the kittens, it was just like,
She literally almost like cut them.
yeah. If Momo got too close, she would like be upset sometimes, but then she would walk by him and be fine.
Hamster, that looks really rad though. I love the you're doing like this brown shell and stuff. Like I don't know what
Yeah.
I don't know how you're basing. I don't know. I'm just trying to say I like.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm experimenting. I'm changing it up a little bit, but it'll get there.
Oh, you're still. Oh.
When are you going to start experimenting with finger painting on minis?
Someone did a video on that actually recently. I didn't watch it, but yeah, they finger painted a mini. I think it was John Ninas, the friend of the Miniac. Did something like that. I saw the thumbnail. The result looked really cool, actually. I was surprised by some of the details. Yeah.
Are they gonna get bandanas? They're gonna get like cool, different
Well-
colored bandanas.
I don't want to copy, so I was thinking they'd get jock straps instead.
The Ninja Turtles would look so different. Oh, that would be so wonderful. I want that world. I want to live in that world. So. What's wrong, my babe?
Can you imagine if somebody made a parody of the TMNT Turtles, but they had colored jock straps? Like, what else
Vividly.
is going on in this? Fill me
I
in.
know
What
how
else is this like?
Hobby hang.
Instead of pizza, it's lasagna. They just get pans of lasagna.
Risotto. They get.
You do
No.
calzones.
Oh sure. The lasagna is Garfield's thing. You can't steal Garfield.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Hot Pockets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes. You thought of the greasiest, disgusting food you could, and it was.
And those are delicious, and it was a sacrifice to give them up, okay?
If you live in the sewer, those jock straps are gonna be so gross. It's like, oh no, these were white when they started.
Sorrow's Tale, the first thing they heard when
wants it.
they came in was jock straps. Hamster's jockstrap hang.
What?
I didn't sign up for
What are
this.
the names?
Welcome to the hang.
Hamster's jockstrap jam.
Jamster.
Magic Michelangelo. That's good. Orion said Magic Michelangelo.
They wake up the moisture.
Hungatello.
If you're not gonna say Donatello, then that's
Dongatello. Toby's doing some sculpting.
Yeah. I'm
Toby-
working on a haunted or abandoned mansion. Like,
Hi, Seraphis. You came in at the right time. Leonardo.
It's not funny.
Yes, it is.
No, it is. I'm saying it's like this. It shouldn't be.
Effectively fine.
Oh, it's so good. It's so
If
good.
you put out a Gallup poll and you asked random Americans whether or not this is funny,
They'd be
They-
like,
they would love.
"Excuse me, sir. I have. You're
They,
getting
they
too
would
close
love.
to me."
They would love Magic Michelangelo,
How?
Donatello, Leonardo, and Shaftael. Yeah.
No, Seraphis. It is not for KS8. It is just for fun,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
as well as for practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, if anything, it's for practice for KS8.
Mm-hmm.
Although, we start talking about KS8 stuff on Wednesday. that'll be exciting. But no, this piece is not for KS8. This is for KS8. We're doing spiders.
And Toidles. No.
We're doing spiders. We're taking spiders that Reaper made,
Right.
painting them and putting them in our Kickstarter.
Spider v Turtles.
Chris?
Yeah?
Do you have a finishing statement to that?
How would a spider wear a jockstrap? Like this?
No, no, we are not making spiders.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer, we are not making spiders, yes.
Brandon
People
is
should realize the hobby
here.
hang is not where you go for any
Yeah.
good information.
Yeah.
Everything we say here is...
Wait, Orion. Okay, Orion's still on Jockstrap Turtles. He says finishing statement. Nice.
Oof.
And I would do.
But what about Splinter and Shredder? What are their names?
I feel like Shredder can stay the same.
Grater. Cheese grater.
Maybe all that hardware's for making coleslaw.
No, he's still Shredder, but like he becomes oh, he's Shaver. That's what it is.
Shaver.
Shaver.
What about Bebop and Rocksteady? We don't have to go. We don't have to keep going. Oh, Krang is just super easy. Oh man.
You have to name their villains. Yep. Well, Orion Noir got it instantly. Man, what other? Oh God, Leatherhead. Oh God, Leatherhead.
Well, he's not really a villain though.
No, but he's a character.
Yeah. Man, those comics are so fun, even though they were originally meant to be just like ridiculous and silly.
Yeah, I think that's why. Like, I feel like those comics, like, they kind of just did what they wanted to do.
Well, because it was meant to. It was sort of like. Oh God. Yeah, Mace.
I can't show Chris's Valentine because I made it while we were having this conversation, and it colors the wall.
Okay. All right.
Does it violate Twitch's terms of service?
It violated me, even though I'm the one that made it.
It violates the Geneva Convention.
You mean Gen Con?
It's my favorite part of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Geneva Convention is just Gen. Wait, yeah, Gen Con is Geneva Convention.
The first Gen.
No, but you know what's really super cool about the Ninja Turtles comics was that it was originally a joke against Daredevil.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're New York. They are ninjas. Daredevil was like trained basically like a ninja. The mutation stuff was like the 80s. Like they had to have, you know, everybody's got to get mutated somehow. And the foot was named like in Daredevil. They're called the Hand.
That's right.
So like there's
That's what made it make sense to me. It was like, oh yeah.
And like the whole dark tone, like if you look at the original comics, they're like this black and white, and so it was after Frank Miller's run on Daredevil, and so it's just like
So Splinter was supposed to be Stick.
Yeah, Splinter Stick.
Yeah, Splinter is Stick.
Yeah.
Oh, hi. Oh, thank you for the raid, Band of Badgers. We're talking about Ninja Turtles right now. It's an extremely PG discussion about Ninja Turtles. So, don't worry. We're keeping everything on track and above board here.
On Top and Rock Solid is pretty good.
Yeah. Man. Great with the spider so far. I need to do the cavern, which I imagine we'll just be doing like grazing black. Go to the black. Let me get rid of this yellow first. The toys that made us show talked about the business side of the guys who made it. I think it almost broke them. I guess it did for a while. Still have a lot more to learn.
Yeah. Eastman and Laird. It was because that's the point. It is that I don't know a bunch more about the. There's also another really cool documentary, like expressly about Eastman and Laird and like Ninja Turtles as well. It was on Hulu for a while. I don't know if it's still there. yeah, kind of talking about how it was at a time where there were, if I remember correctly, they were like trying to get more work in comics in general, and so they're like, screw it. 80s were also a time of like zines were huge then, so a lot of like independent comics were, you know, produced through zines, like even like Judge Dredd and stuff like that, kind of like started as like smaller publications, these smaller prints, more intimate stuff, and then as it keep growing and it got more popular, they'd get better backing, and so that's what they did with Ninja Turtles. Was they did like this like 6-issue little thing that was nothing, and it was kind of just like a joke, and it just blew up into this thing. And I think it was Laird who just like didn't want anything to do with it anymore. Kevin Eastman was sort of like, he stayed on for a bunch of the other projects that came afterward, or not like stayed on, but like they're still both credited as the creators, and they're still both credited as like collaborators, but like more times than not, it was usually Eastman who would do stuff, because Peter Laird by that point, he was just like, I'm out, I'm done. Like, I don't want to deal with it anymore. Yeah. And funny enough, in the first movie, they even have a little bit. They named 2 streets after.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, at the end of the movie, he's like, you'll find the hideout on Eastman and Laird. And it's like, oh, that's cute. It's also played by Sam Rockwell, which is ridiculous. I know way too much
Wow,
about...
guys, I'm hitting.
Sorry, what's that, Mace?
You know, you used to work at a comic book store, so it's not like it's not that weird.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
I just don't want to dominate the thing. We can move on.
I'm hitting
I
my
dig it.
3rd ginger ale today, so you know it's a hard day.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I'm trying to figure out...
You used to own a comic book store?
Whoa!
I played a Band of Andrews does. I played a Turtle in our Tomb of Annihilation game. He has a blue gem in his forehead.
Oh, that's rad. I wonder what the blue gem is for.
Nimbus Blitz lives in the future hometown of the turtle, or former hometown of the turtles. You live in New York City? There's a building downtown that used to be their museum. Wait, are they in New York City stores? Or is it Chicago stores?
Yeah, no, there's New York City.
It is New York City. Okay.
But I don't know if Eastman and Laird were from New York City.
Probably not.
So, I mean, like, Dark Horse Comics was in Milwaukee, Oregon. That's where it started.
There's a Milwaukee in Oregon?
Creatives
Oh.
come out of Portland and
Yeah, Algonquins know.
Okay.
Okay.
Seattle.
Which is good for the good land.
Millie Rocky.
Oh, that's cool.
There used to be turtle steps there.
Yep, Orion knows. Yeah, just outside of Portland, there's a Milwaukee. And there was a bus that would go right by Dark Horse. And so when I was living, there's another city out there, ironic, is called Oregon City. And I used to live out there, and when I would take the bus, yeah, it's really dumb. Like, I would take the bus from there to go back into Portland, which is like, it's like a 25, 30-minute bus ride. But it would drive right by their like original headquarters, and they had this really cool alien, like the xenomorph from Alien. They had a big like statue of it. They also had a statue of the Mask, like the original The Mask.
Oh,
That's cool.
Because it was originally a Dark Horse comic, and then it became a Jim Carrey movie. What's up, Tim?
Wait, question. Did you say it was dumb that there's an Oregon City?
Yeah, there's an Oregon City, and
But
yeah.
we live in a city named after a state.
the state is named after the city. Thank you.
New York City.
It was originally called New Amsterdam, and then it became New York City for sure. It's weird. I guess I think of it. It's like Oregon City is super small. It's like population is like a third of the size of Portland.
It's funny. It's funny
it's
when
just-
something is named like the city of the state, and it's like not the capital, and it's not,
Yes.
and it's not even actually a significant city in that state.
Okay.
I guess
Yeah,
that's
Oregon,
the point.
Yeah,
That's
Oregon City is like a nothing city in that state, but it's named Oregon City.
and that's why it's fun. Yeah, like if
Yeah.
New York City had like a population of like 30,000 people, you'd be like, okay.
Like right now, off the top of your head, like right now, you guys, what's the capital of Portland? Or what's the
No,
capital
you
of
already,
Oregon?
no, you already messed it up.
What's the capital?
No.
What's the capital? What's the capital of Oregon?
You just said it.
No, what's the capital of Oregon? No, say it. Say it.
It's Salem.
Yeah, Salem.
Is the capital.
It's Salem.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
He's
Yeah.
trying. It was bad.
Oregon
It was
City.
bad, but like, no, yeah. What's the capital of Oregon? It's not Oregon
Orion
City.
guy. I feel like Orion Noir is a West Coast person.
Orion Noir used to be a huge deal in the Ogden days. Played a critical. Yeah, sure. Back in the Oregon days, or the Oregon Trail, like the Oregon Trail days.
Like the 90s?
Like,
Oh.
yeah, the 90s when people were like taking their wagons back when Oregon Trail was on the computers.
Yeah.
Salem.
You can remember last
Yeah,
year's
you
event with Oregon Trail.
you live in Oregon, so it's cheating. We're from there, so it's cheating. But like for everybody else, everybody outside of Oregon thinks that Portland is the capital.
Yeah, we know it when it was rural. I actually find this really interesting. Somebody was I'm missing the name because it scrolled past, but somebody was saying that turtles are actually one of the better classes to play, better races to play for casters, and I find that interesting.
Yes, because the natural armor.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, they get really high natural armor.
Sure.
That's why I made my war cleric a turtle.
I was misreading the turtle as I thought the L was an I, so I thought
From
everyone
this
was saying
distance, I thought it said Torty too.
it.
And
Yeah, I was like, everyone's playing Torties?
did they do that?
Tortai!
Tortai.
Tortai, assemble!
You sound like Bane when you use that voice.
I was born in the dark.
I was born in Oregon. You merely gentrified it.
No, that was just regular Oregon.
Man.
Go back to drawing, so I stopped talking about comics.
Why? It's
Getting
been
excited.
interesting. It's been a good conversation.
Impressed.
I mean, that's really what the show is about, is the conversation.
Dream is that Tyler got excited and was enjoying himself.
That's true.
If I'm being real.
Sorry. I mean, like, I just got all of the Invincible collection.
Well,
It's
it's
very
one that, yeah, Tyler, you were having fun, so since you were the fun police, you stopped yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Toby knows what it's about. Toby knows that I gotta put a halt to it.
Many
So have any of you? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Many states what?
Many states' capitals aren't their most populous or well-known cities. Right, and I'm saying that's wrong. They should fight for it. Hey, Dunk.
Duncan!
Hey, Dunk!
If a city loses its relevance, they should have to another city should be able to challenge it and try to take the capital
I think that is.
from them.
Oh, okay.
Olympia needs to step it up.
Well, first Olympia needs to not smell like cow crap.
Olympia needs to learn how to deal with earthquakes.
Hi, Duncan.
Hi.
Hey, Duncan!
He's gonna fall asleep standing
He's
up.
like, no, Dad, no. I'm like, oh. He's like a little lamb. His fur is so soft.
He's a lambkin.
Yeah.
Imagine not everyone knows the capital of California.
It's Michigan.
Sacramento.
Okay, I know this.
Look at him sleep.
I guess the point of that is to say you don't think that everyone would know, so like it doesn't matter if I know.
I think it's funny because I don't think anybody knows that Salem exists in Oregon. And then you hear Oregon City and you think, oh, that must be a significant thing. It's like, nah, it's like a really forgettable town.
I mean, by argument, so is Salem, but like
that's what I'm saying. Like Salem is also forgettable.
I don't know. It's weird.
So what you think is that, basically, capital of Washington instead of Olympia should be Fort, right?
What?
Like after Twilight, Fort just blew up. It went off the map.
Well, by that logic, it should have been Seattle way before that because that's where Microsoft's headquarters are.
Yeah, sure, but the times are changing, and they're changing now.
They're changing straight to the Twilights.
Your time they are changing.
I hate some boy.
He's so handsy, boy. It is time when I just think like a song.
See, even though you're not saying the lyrics, we could still get sued by the Bob Dylan.
To be fair,
By the Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
they don't copyright the lyrics, mostly because it's the melody is like the important part, but also mostly with Bob Dylan, they couldn't tell the lyrics for most of the time anyways. No one ever goes to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Everybody thinks either Philly or Pittsburgh. Yep.
Interesting.
I go to move the capital to Yelm. The witches do. Albany. The witches, see, Salem, Massachusetts, everybody knows.
Oh.
Albany? I think Salem, Oregon needs to do some witch hunts just so that they can earn the name.
Well, I mean, that's the other thing, right? Is that like some names are.
Didn't really
Well,
know
like, that's
either.
what's the funny part about like Portland. Portland's name is its business.
Yeah. They have a lot of land.
No, their name is not Dirty Hipster Coffee Shops.
That's not its business. That's its hobby.
Let's see.
And if we had a team member in Portland, it's like, so what are you working on today? I'm just opening a restaurant that exclusively serves waffles.
Yeah, but you loved Off the Waffle.
Off the Waffle was really good. There's, like, but like the idea that was what the business model was is objectively
Well, it was
hilarious.
Belgian waffles. It was like specifically like artisanal.
No, they were made in America. Artisanal waffle.
That's what I was trying to get to. It was like the most ridiculous. Because that's how you phrase stuff now. That's how everything is phrased. That's how we go to the food. Like, we go to the supermarket and it's like organic, natural foods. It's like, yeah, no crap. It's food. It's a yeah.
We aged this batter for 3 weeks. Pour it in an oak skillet to get this nice smoky flavor.
I love the battery. Oh, he's so gross.
Better start swimming or sink like a stone.
I feel like Hamster's trying to.
I think Chris wants his
I feel like
own
Hamster is
dream.
regretting.
Fermented
Putting it-
waffle batter. No, you know what? Sometimes I just let you guys go and I just paint. I'm just like, you know what? I'm co-pilot now. I'll just take a little paint nap.
Hey, Hammy, you see how that's troubling, right?
Yep. I'm asleep as the co-pilot. That's right.
Oh my god, I just saw a video the other day of this this older man who's driving and he's got probably like his son or his grandson, like the age of the guy in the passenger seat is I can't really tell. But the older guy, so the younger guy in the passenger seat is asleep, and then the older guy is asleep as well, and he just starts drifting off to the side.
Oh my god.
And he hits the bumps, and then as he wakes up, he's like, screw you! And he's like, what the hell? The other dude wakes up, and he's like, the white car is trying to drive me off the road.
Oh my god.
The passenger like looks at him really weird, and he's like, no, pull over, we're done. And he's like, nah, I'm telling you, there was a car there. It's
God.
it's just like, I'm fine.
Free range Egos, fermented waffle batter. Did you say an oak skillet? That isn't going to be cooking for long. No, you don't understand.
It's one use. Yeah,
We,
we're saving the planet.
Yeah, it's single use recyclable skillet.
Yeah.
Does your Eggo have papers? The Eggo has papers, certified. Dude, we can show you its name.
Show
we
me.
can show you its shop history.
We can tell you every person who has handled this waffle.
Actually,
We can tell you which lab it was developed in.
it's not an artisanal waffle unless it's made in the Eggo region of France.
Otherwise, it's just. Otherwise, it's just Key Foods.
Yeah, there's a complex process on how to make it. You have to like Lego it perfectly.
The Lego process.
And then they claim it as theirs, so it's like,
Oh.
there I go.
I'm imagining like the workforce training videos. It's just
Yeah.
Oh man.
Laugh, but it's a process that takes 27 years to master.
Oh god. Yeah. Not sure what's going on here, but it's pretty awesome. Hey, we just kind of let loose on these.
I think that's the definition of the hobby hang, actually.
As Hamster said before, I just gonna let you go. Oh man.
We just kind of work on the stuff that we want to work on. Get our little projects going. What are your little projects? Why?
Just today.
Okay.
I'm just not. Did I ever show you the pangolin?
You never showed me the pangolin, no. I've seen a lot of pictures of pangolins. I've never seen you
They
draw
always look
one.
so worried that they're about to ask you a question, but they're too shy to.
Yeah.
Oh,
Excuse me.
excuse me?
I would like to. I'd like to get by now.
Man, pangolins deserve the world. TB.
Yeah, apparently they're the most trafficked animal species.
I don't think a pangolin could do anything wrong.
Way to bring the mood down, Toby.
Yeah. I.
It's very not pangolin of you.
I'm sorry.
Give to
A pangolin would
help protect pangolins, everybody.
Yes. Do they protect quokkas too? If they protect quokkas too, then they have to.
No, to protect the quokkas, you need at least 50 votes.
Waffles Unleashed, the name of the food cart. Nice.
Yeah.
Let's.
It's got like tearing, like super old 90s, like.
Man, I really want us to work the Akuska into our game. The
I feel like
Akuska,
that would throw off our group.
maybe. I think they can fit pretty well. If we can have the Garship, the Akuska fit pretty well. They're exploding. They're exploding quokkas.
See?
Yo! That's really cool.
And so the idea would be, it like, these are like rotating bands
Yeah.
of its scales, of its thing. Oh, I can show you too, Toby. Or everybody. Yeah.
No thanks.
Oh wait, that's not gonna work.
Just
No
kidding.
thanks.
I'm just kidding. no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, keep it to yourself.
Push it over to the.
Yeah!
That'll work.
As a time they are dreaming.
Oof. That's not gonna work either, is it? The
Oh,
screen.
we just gotta get it focused. No, you gotta
I'm
hold
just
it.
gonna-
If you hold it in the right place, the lines show up. It's
Right,
Is that
I'm
focus? There we go.
Turning down my screen brightness.
Look at that. Look at that
Ooh.
pangolin. Waffles and Pangolins? Yeah, Waffles Unleashed sounds like a feel-good Disney dog movie.
See, so like it would be like rotate. It's like a mechanical pangolin, and so it has like rotating scales. That way you
Cool.
can stretch out into a motorcycle.
That looks sweet.
Yeah, that's the artificer in our game. That's what he chose his Steel Defender to be.
I like it.
Was a pangolin. And so, if he prepares it correctly, depending on what he wants to do, we made the system of like.
They called it Artificer Alterations, where it was like you could. It was like a system of points that you know, based on your level and based on your intelligence modifier, you got like a specific amount of points that then you could alter whatever, because each artificer got a different thing. So like I can't remember what the alchemist got. I don't think the alchemist, I don't know if I can't remember if it applied to them, but like the armor guy, the battlesmith, and the artillerist all had like an additional thing that you could augment. So it was like, yeah, why not? Like, it'd be pretty cool, because otherwise they're pretty stagnant. For a thing that's supposed to be like, I create a bunch of cool stuff, it was pretty stagnant for
Yeah.
extra thing.
An RPG show I'm watching at the moment, they have a mechanical pangolin. That's
Yeah.
literally what we got in ours. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah. Interesting that is something that multiple people have thought of.
Hmm. Oh wow! Totally forgot about this. When I drew out the designs for the airship stuff, the airship dock
Yeah?
and the charging.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Airships are cool. I wish we did more with airships.
What a game. I mean, that was, that's always the thought, right? Is that it's like, what's the next thing we should, what's the next thing we can put into something? And, yeah.
Pangolin bear, owlbear variant. That'd be kind of cool. Has like a very Avatar vibe to it. Because it's more on the pangolin bear would be more on like the kind of cutesy side of things.
More timid bear.
Yeah. A bear that's just like super shy.
The long ponytail.
I'm about ready to. I might actually just take the Cavern's dry brush and like literally Cavern's dry brush the caverns underneath the spider.
Can you say caverns one more time?
No, I ran out of uses. I can say it again after long rest.
I don't think you can be silent for that long.
Wow.
Oh, got him.
First off,
How dare you!
I was gonna say first off, I can still say a lot of other things.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we're leaving the waffle conversation behind. We haven't even talked about toppings. Voodoo waffle. I love the voodoo scene. Like voodoo donuts? Dude,
Yeah.
what's the, is it Pips? What's the donut place?
Blue Star?
No, not Booster. Booster's really good though.
No, not. I'm saying Blue Star. Blue Star.
Blue Star. Yeah, Blue
is
Star.
really good.
Blue Star's got really good donuts. I think Pips is also.
Duncan. He's
Came back.
yeah, he's
I realized the problem with him hearing when I'm sculpting is his hair gets all over my hand.
right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, that was what I was noticing when I had Sally up on my lap. I was like, her fur might get the paint and stuff. On the ground. On the ground.
Stood in line for an hour to get donuts once. Yeah, Voodoo Donuts has a big line all the time. I think there are places that are just as good, if not better, than Voodoo Donuts, where the line isn't as bad.
Yeah. Some of my favorite places in Portland are not that. Like Fire on the Mountain is really cool if you're really into like wings, hot wings and stuff. Like,
I thought you meant like if you wanted to fly.
or if you're really into
Really into Paul McCartney's side projects.
yeah.
Yeah. You know,
really
Paul
into
McCartney-
late '90s TV shows.
Paul McCartney did better after the Beatles. Actually, I think a lot of people could make that argument.
They did better after the Beatles.
Yeah.
Like after listening to them.
No, like that a lot of the Beatles like solo work was better than when they were together as the Beatles.
Yeah, like Ringo's MS Paint stuff.
Ringo's paintings way better than the Beatles.
Well, I don't know. I don't want to say that like I don't subscribe to that belief, but I definitely have a.
I'd say with Paul McCartney specifically, he's done so much stuff.
Well, but that's the point, right? Is that
Like-
he was able to do a lot of stuff. When the breadth of your work, when like 7 to 8 years of your life is spent doing one thing, and then you do 30 years of another thing, yeah, the quality is going to be different. Like you're going to have more time, just overall, to keep hammering away at one thing. And I don't know. I guess I'm not saying that like his work after the Beatles was bad. I'm saying like I just like them equally. I guess is the thing. I like them for what
don't
they are.
you? So, what's your problem with Live and Let Die?
That's right. I love Live and Let Die. I remember remember watching it. I remember the first time ever hearing "Live and Let Die" before I watched a James Bond movie was an AMV of I remember, it was Broly. It was like Dragon Ball Z, and it was Goku fighting Broly. It was that whole movie. Like, yeah, I'm not ashamed. It was rad. He went Super Saiyan when he went live and let die.
I can see it. It's the way that they animate things in like in Dragon Ball Z, where like they like power up, and so they'll be like, oh, it's charging up, and it'll go like, and like rocks from the ground will be like, it's like that, but like on the stings, like the rocks would suddenly just like around them.
It was rad.
I can see that.
It was great AMV.
Granted, I never had a fresh Voodoo Donuts, but my spicy take is Portland, Maine has a superior donut spot. Holy donut. Voodoo Donuts is fine. I just think think the meme has gotten, not the meme, but I think the pop culture aspect of Voodoo Donuts has. Yeah, that's true. It's just not the meme in like the it's a joke sense, but meme in the way it's spread culturally.
Yeah.
Voodoo Donuts became the place that people know as the weird donut spot in Portland, and so I think they deal with such a high volume all the time now that I do think they have a harder time keeping up, which is just the reality of things.
There's a lot of fun places in Portland. Most of them are just like hiking though. Like you go up to Powell Butte, you go to I can never remember what that one is called. It's like in off 60th. Like there's a lot of cool places to just kind of like get lost in, and you can go up to OHSU and walk the trail up there. It's very, very good time. Mace's been gone for a while.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even say. Whoopsie! Hi, it's me. It's me again over here. I'm there twice now.
Yeah.
It's okay. I just mean like I don't know.
My money is on her internet going out.
Yeah, because she's been having problems all this week with it.
And it snowed again yesterday, so if the snow is part of it, like.
I'm surprised mine hasn't dropped out during a hang at all. Like, mine sometimes just disappears. Like, yeah, last night it was just gone.
Interesting.
One of our meetings during Monday morning, like I just like left halfway through because my internet was gone as well. So if you wonder why we just said Toby left, is it that's why? Because you were there, Tyler.
It's okay. We'll learn about it. We'll hear about it.
No. You won't.
Noticed.
Usually she keeps her feet up when she's in the bathroom, though, so I don't think it's that.
To be honest, though, a lot of the places that I loved going in Portland were by not so legal means.
You buy those shady underground donuts?
I just, you break into a rock quarry and you have fun. That's.
We did have
Powell's.
There's so much cat hair on my stove
breaking
now.
into Powell's.
Thanks, Dunk.
Powell's bookstore is very good. It's one of the... Oh, man. It's nice to be able to... Powell's is a place you can take people who normally don't think of, like, bookstores as cool places. You take them to Powell's and, like, they'll lose their mind. The sheer size of that place and just, it's very good. I heard feed. I know you said feed. I wish Pals was everywhere. Yeah, having like a genuine, actually like very good, bookstore would be nice from those places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got the Strand here, and the Strand is all right.
Strand's pretty good, yeah. It's not as big. The Strand is like the epitome of like trying to make the most out of New York real estate.
Mm-hmm.
They try to cram so much into like a Manhattan location.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
I wish Mace was still on. She would probably talk about it.
It's true. She's a big strander.
She strands everything.
Dude, Mace loves to strand. Her and Hideo Kojima are like on the same wavelength.
And Stephen King. Wait, no, was his the Strand or the Stand?
The Stand.
Damn it.
Yeah, kind of embarrassing for you, honestly. I'm not you, but like that one takes the cake. Let's see. Strand.
Is it wood texture, Toby?
What?
On the outside?
Yeah, doing
Okay.
like wood.
I love it. I really like it.
Yeah, it's mostly gonna be wood. Just this a big rock here and then stone on the bottom. But besides that, wood. And trying to figure out how I'm gonna do the carpet. I'll probably put like a cloth on it, just like as like a texture stamp, kind of.
Sure. I'm trying to think of what it makes me think of.
What?
The thing Toby's doing. I'm trying to remember. It reminds me of something.
What?
In a good way. Like, not like it's like a replica of something, but it.
A summer morning.
No, I think it's like the Addams Family house.
You smell waffles.
Well, when I was doing this, I was looking up a bunch of like Victorian like
Yeah.
houses were like kind of like a. I was going to have like a little like porch like thing over there that's like kind of broken.
Played that Robotech. Anyone play that? Anybody play the TMNT RPG? Am I alone?
No, I played.
I played that and Robotech, both solid, and even crossbook over with Riffs.
Oh.
I never played it.
Oh, I guess, yeah, you could. I forgot that
What?
Mutants Masterminds was part of the Rift system. Yeah.
I've never played with the Rift system before.
It's a lot. That's what I'd say about it. I think it's one of those systems that, like,
I hate
needlessly overcomplicates.
Oh, I hate that. I hate overcomplicated rule systems. That's why I try to simplify every rule system I play with.
But I just mean to say that, like, it becomes like a 3-step process to do one action sometimes.
Again, I can't speak. I have been actively trying to mod to mod 5e to be more complicated in our game.
I know. Well, I think you're saying that it's not Mutants and Masterminds. Okay, I thought it was something similar. So that I've played Mutants and Masterminds. So if it's not the same, then gotcha. Yeah, I remember playing Rifts. You can make some really cool characters through it, but like, there's a game coming out, City of Mist, that does the Powered by the Apocalypse example that I'm pretty excited for. It looks really neat. Like, it's more about, you know, you are a mutant armadillo.
Nice.
That's cool. In this City of Mist one, I've been like looking it up recently. I missed the Kickstarter. I think it was happening like right before ours or something like that, because I remember getting a lot of targeted ads about it. And it's got this really cool system of being like D6 based, as I recall, and like because the Powered by the Apocalypse is meaning like the apocalypse. I had to look that up too. Like, what is that? It's not even a system. It's basically just a I don't even want to say a branding. It's just basically saying like, yeah, you took the conceit of Apocalypse World and kind of applied the same sort of things to your game. Like the same design principles, and it's not like it's like this weird thing where it's like it's not like you couldn't make your, like, they even say it on their website. It's like, you can make your own game and you don't have to credit us. That's fine, but just don't actually say the things that try to credit our work and everything else, and that'd be cool. But if you want to use our logos or whatever, or if you want to say it's powered that, then just like submit it to us and we'll talk about it. The cool thing is that like they have this thing of your characters are the embodiment of a legend. So like almost like Persona.
Ooh.
So it's sort of like like somebody could be they have like character examples, and like one of them's called Excalibur, and that person has the like legend of King Arthur inside of them, kind of thing. So they have like these powers and they have these like exceptional abilities because of it. And I just kind of liked that. I thought that was pretty cool because it means you could draw from any mythology that you really wanted to and make something pretty cool. And you could technically make something up too. Like it doesn't seem like there's any rules against like making up your own mythology or something like that. But like it kind of gives this really cool credence to like many different forms of storytelling.
That's one of the coolest.
From those.
That's one of the coolest things about Shin Megami Tensei. Is they're just like, what if every folklore and every fantasy was real? Like in all their spin-offs, like it takes different forms, but like the monsters and all the other stuff that populates the entire Shin Megami Tensei series, they pull from everywhere. Like you get folklore from like every continent, like every background, like religious figures from every religion. They cover like everything. It's really wild. Like you can tell it's made by a team who just likes looking up like what stories we tell each other, basically.
And then there's a giant penis monster.
Yeah, I mean, there's that.
I learned about that one after they showed it in like SMT, like something in a Nintendo Direct. I can't believe I learned about a penis monster in a Nintendo Direct.
Well,
where else are you going to learn about them, Toby?
Not Nintendo.
Well, you know what? Nintendo's had a good year. They're spreading the love.
Pokemon sex ed.
Isn't it? But speaking of Pokemon though, I think there's a mobile game that's like renamed, and now it's called Pokemon Masters EX. But if you write it down, it's just Pokemon Master Sex. It wasn't called that originally. They didn't have the EX originally. They added that.
Ever play Ars Magica or Mage?
I did play Mage. If they're talking about the White Wolf one, that one's really fun.
You're saying both of them had interesting systems?
Yeah. And I saw Orion talking about Palladium having an interesting system about like points. Like you don't really have a class, you build your character points. And I'm like, yeah, that actually was a really cool part of it. I just think that all of the resolutions in the game became needlessly complicated. Like it became this thing of just like, oh well, my ability can do. It was like 3-5, but even more, like even more granular sometimes. And so it was just sort of like, maybe it was also the people I played with was the other half of it. And I think that always stains any sort of game you play, is like,
Or makes it.
or makes it. I guess that's the point. That right is like it's going to color the experience in some way.
100% depends on the group. Yep.
Yeah, and it's like if I play with somebody who really wants to play the same game as me, then I'm going to have a great time, regardless of how the game works. And
Right.
you know, but sometimes I feel like there can be times where I'm like, I'm having a really hard time with this game because the mechanics aren't the best. So. Mage is really cool if it was if it was White Wolf one, because it's the same people that did it.
CD Projekt Red. Don't nod. Yeah, don't nod, dude. Vampire.
The game?
Not Vampire the Masquerade. They did a game called Vampire.
Oh.
Vampire the Masquerade, I think, was CD Projekt.
No.
Who did Vampire the Masquerade?
I can't remember, but I don't think.
Huh.
I couldn't tell you. I just don't think.
Either way, it was a dumb joke response.
If you're talking about the game Vampire the Masquerade, if you're talking about the computer
I'm
game.
talking about the
I randomly saw someone streaming that yesterday.
I remember my brother playing it growing up. You know, my brother and my stepdad would play Diablo 2, and so did my cousins. And then on the times that they weren't playing Diablo 2, my brother would be playing Vampire the Masquerade 2 Bloodlines. And remember that. Crazy. Because he was also playing in like a regular game of Vampire, and I was really interested in it. I was like, this looks cool, because I had been playing D&D. He's like, no, you can't play that game. And I was like, why? And he's like, he just like couldn't say anything. He's like, yeah, I can't really let my 9-year-old brother play Vampire the Masquerade.
Yeah, but like anything he could tell you about why you can't play it would just make you want to play it.
Yeah,
So
pretty
it's
much.
like-
And so I conceded to just playing with his Evangelion figurines and
Now,
reading his Ninja
Evangelion, that's
Turtles.
what you should show a 9-year-old.
Yeah. Well, because that was the other thing. I was like, these big mechas are really cool. And he's like, Tyler, this is like not a...
Shinji, look at the cool robots.
I do feel like that's what the show was trying to do. It's like, just
That's what the
look at
show
the
is.
big
It's
robots
like-
a little bit, and then we'll.
Evangelion is one of those shows where they're like, we need to sell toys. That was the point of Evangelion.
It
right?
was Japan's He-Man.
Yeah. Shinji, it's time for the Hot Springs episode.
I just love the idea that nowhere in the show does the dad just show up and do what you're saying, but I love the idea of the dad just walking into the room and just giving the main conceit of the episode to the main character.
I mean, Gendo Ikari shouting, Shinji, get in the robot is a meme.
It is a meme, but
Yeah.
like him just doing that with the episode theme is really great.
And then the what's called the beach episode comes up, and then it's, Shinji, get in your bathing suit.
Shinji, this is the one where we're all animals.
Oh. Prepare for Chibi.
Man, Hamster, did you watch Evangelion?
No, I haven't yet, but I'm saving it for a night of feels, or a period of feels.
I don't know if it's better for me to say watch it when you're feeling sad, or watch it when you're not feeling sad. Both could end up being like pretty catastrophic.
Put some poggers in the chat if you want them to.
Put a Sag in the chat if you wanted to watch it when he's sad. Put a Poggers in the chat if you wanted to watch him when he's feeling great. That's basically what I told you. Is I was just like, yeah, like it's heavy, but it's real good.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes I'm super into that.
Sometimes I want to feel. My favorite part of Lost in Translation.
My mom has watched that for the first time.
Really?
Mhm.
That's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, I talked it up to her, and I had talked to her a couple of times over the years, and she just had never really gotten to be able to watch it. My mom has a tough time with movies because, like, when I'm there, we'll watch stuff, and she loves watching movies. Like, that's one of her favorite things. Like, she enjoys that kind of entertainment. But like, my stepdad doesn't really watch very many movies that aren't like action heavy. So like, she doesn't get to watch like esoteric or weird stuff a lot of the time. And like, my other siblings don't necessarily do that with her. So like, anytime I go home, we just like watch. I usually have like 8 movies for us to watch over like a 5-day period, and we just kind of hang out and do that.
All right, Mom, you probably haven't heard of this. We're gonna watch Goofy Movie.
No, my mom loves Goofy movies.
Good.
My mom almost animated on Black Cauldron.
Forgot she was an animator.
She got a job offer with them by her friend, and she looked at the material for Black Cauldron, and she was like, "Oh, this is just way too demonic for me to want to work on." At the time, that was her choice. She has since rescinded that.
Yeah, I mean, we're all Satanists if we play D&D.
You know what's funny? That's my first game I remember playing is with my mom.
Oh, nice.
Dragons. Yeah, my brother was our DM, but I can't say specifically, but I think I only got to play because my mom was like, well, if we're all playing, then sure.
We're all
Right.
playing, and we can beat up Satan if he shows up.
Yeah.
He can't get us all.
But no, it's actually like, you know, like honestly, like when I think back to it too, it was a really fun time. And I guess that's the other thing I think about sometimes is like, I have played for a very long time, but I had like 4 groups that I've played with. The first one I played with was my brother and his friends and my family. And then the second group I played with was the one I was running when after I graduated. And then the third one was yet another one that I was running because of I moved. And then the fourth one is ours.
Were you?
How many different groups have you guys played in? And for the folks at home, it's like
Were you a part?
played for 42 years. Yeah.
Were you a part of that 18-player monstrosity that Isaac ran?
Yeah. Oh shit. 5 then. 5.
Yeah.
I only played a few sessions because they never happened. But like,
When they did, it would be like 10-hour days of 18 of us crammed in his living room.
well, because 6 people invariably, it was always like 6 people had to make a character.
Yeah, we almost never had like an actual. That's true. We kept having like brain.
So when it was you, me, Avery, and I think one other person and Taylor, but like when it was that, it was like it was a lot of fun. But Toby, have you played? How many people have you? How many like groups have you played in, Toby?
I think with friends twice outside before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Maybe 3? I don't remember much. I think 3, yeah. There's like 2 of the times with the same people, so there was like very like 3
Yeah.
or so.
Different groups, but like still similar people. That's what you're
Well,
saying?
I think 1 or 2 of them overlapped, but it was like mostly different. If I remember correctly, it was a while ago. I haven't played since the stream games. I don't play around.
I want to do that. I was thinking about it. There was a game I wanted to run when we were doing the Dwarven Forge stream games with the staff, and then we got into Wildlands. We stopped doing the games because everybody's just too busy, and we haven't really picked it back up since, like doing the games, because now we're trying to avoid having people in the office as much as possible. I would really like to. I really want to run that session. Maybe I can just run it from here. Maybe we can still do that.
I don't see that there's any big issue. I think the biggest issue is just time. Like we got to make sure that we're doing all of our other stuff. What about you, Hamster? I don't know if I've ever asked you this, Hamster. Like outside of Kelsey's game that I know that that I know that you played in, how many other games have you played?
Well, first of all, that game has been going on for like a year and a half, which is insane to me. Because I've never had a group go that long.
I gotta be honest, man. I'm still under that thing. I'm like, man, maybe I'll join them again. And then I'm just like, I don't have time. I just like I'm with the game I run and everything. And it's like I can't do it.
Yeah, I was playing some other games and I had to cut it down to just the one. I was playing like the Wizards of the Coast Star Wars, where it's basically 3-5 and with a Star Wars skin.
Oh yeah.
Which was fun. I played Monster of the Week for a little bit, but that dissipated as well. It's basically Supernatural, the RPG.
Mm-hmm.
My first experience in D&D was a little heartbreaking for a couple reasons. It was in high school, and this guy was super into, you know, DMing and creating worlds, and but he never had a group.
Mm-hmm.
And so what happened was he finally got a group by getting his friends to play, so we were all new players, all brand new.
Okay.
And he had never really like gotten to dive into his stuff, so the first time was like a long drawn out session for like 8 or 10 hours or something, instead of like easing us into it and like learning the ropes. And we were all new, so it was clunky, and we didn't know, like, so the pace of play was, you know, pretty slow. So at first I was like, man, I thought I would like this. I don't know if I like this. You know, well, because he had so many great ideas, it was really just like the pace and our familiarity and trying to absorb all of it all at once.
Yeah.
For the very first time. So, you know, it sucks as I look back and it's like, man, that guy just like really wanted to like deploy all of his ideas, and we just like weren't the group for it at the time.
Well, and that's part of it, right? Like that is actually part of play, is like knowing your group, knowing
Yeah.
who you're playing with, and making sure that like you have.
Right. And
Yeah,
then I didn't play again until like halfway through college, when and at this time I was like painting war game miniatures all the time. It's basically just because that's what introduced me to miniatures, was Warhammer. Like that's probably the main reason why I kept going with that, is that's just where I started.
Yeah.
But then halfway through college I played a game. It was 3-5, and it was just, we all me and my best friend lived in a house with a few other close friends that were all theater majors, and one guy was super into DMing, and so it's me and my best friend and my other close college friend as the DM, and I loved that. One, because no one was hesitant to like really get into the role play and stuff, and we already had a chemistry just because we were all friends. Naturally, we had a chemistry. And I just really liked having a duo and a DM. Like, just really, like, you know, you really quickly develop your dynamic and stuff. And so that was an absolute blast to play that. Which is why I love Gun and Slinger so much when I played it with Chris and Miles. It's like, that was the same thing of a duo and a GM.
Gun and Slinger is so good. If you guys have just like, if you ever find yourself like, even if you're like a small family or something that likes playing games together, there's like 3 of you, and you're like missing like playing like games in person. Gun and Slinger is a 3-person game. It's a game master and 2 players. One of them plays a gunslinger, and the other person plays their sentient gun.
Which is a very interesting challenge to roleplay.
Yeah. Me, Hamster, and Miles played. So it turns out Miles sent me. He saw it on Kickstarter, and he was like, "Oh, this sounds like amazing. This sounds like my kind of game." And I looked at it and was like, "Oh, I know the guy that's making this." And so I reached out to him, and we did like a little promotional game for him. Like a week after we wrapped Wildlands, we like put together that game, and it's really fun. It just came out a month ago, as they officially released.
Barely, yeah.
Yeah, it was not
3-4 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks ago.
It's a very cool system. It uses a deck of cards, and literally you do things by playing blackjack. Is what the players do.
What?
And it's very much like a collaborative storytelling thing as well, where it has like, its rules are built around you basically being able to do anything that would kind of metaphorically represent like stuff that needs to happen. It's not like a big like, oh, you got to keep track of like all the stats and everything game. Like there are stats and stuff, but it's more about different ways that you can affect the story as opposed to like slugging out fights. Really, it's a very cool experience that leads to there's a lot of possibilities open for trying to, both for like just really funny stuff happening and also like really like intensely like dark and emotional stuff happening. Like stuff swung around. You can go into like really heavy genre parodies and stuff. It's a great system.
Okay, so now I'm just seeing in the chat Mace, unfortunately, I muted because I thought your call was like something important, but Mace did in fact crank call me just now.
Nice.
Sorry to ruin the bit.
You know what you should do?
What's up?
Crank her.
Oh shoot.
You should crank call her.
Oh shoot. Dude, we should do a show about like crank calls, but like use puppets.
Oh yeah. yeah. Okay.
We have a lot of people in the chat who have been playing for like 30 or 40 years.
Wow.
It's wild.
I think I'm close to 20, so I'll get there eventually.
My first game, I think it was like my 16th birthday. Had some people over, and
You're never a child.
TJ ran a session of Pathfinder.
Mm-hmm.
That's
right. You did start on Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it was only a one shot, but I played a ranger in Pathfinder. Yeah, are they called a ranger? I can't even remember. It's been so long.
I don't know if they're called anything differently.
It was a
pretty
ranger
sure
style
they're
class
called
though. I was like a
ranger,
bow.
though.
I was like a bow and sword guy. Pathfinder.
That's the funny thing. They didn't like really change the names at all there.
Okay. Well, a lot of the classes are generic enough names that it's.
Yeah.
Can't
trademark.
Yeah, that was my first game, and I think that's what convinced my parents that it wasn't like a big scary satanic thing, because there was a lot of concern about that in my household growing up. But TJ was a nice boy, so TJ ran that Pathfinder session, and they're like, okay, you know what, like nobody was spilling blood or anything, and yeah, so we did that, and then my first real game was then that 3.5 homebrew campaign with 18 players that Isaac ran over a summer, where people were allowed to make characters out of whatever homebrew they could find online. And so a lot of us like looked for like things that we thought would be like really funny or interesting. Like Avery played wow, what's the alien that Starfire is? Tamaranian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Avery played a Tamaranian, so he like
I
literally
think it's
could,
just a tamarin, but
Tamarin? Something like that. Oh, Tamaranian's a dog.
No, that's Pomeranian.
I know.
You.
But
get him.
I can't remember what you played. But it was a really fun, ridiculous game. The entire thing was theater of the mind, and Isaac is one of the most bizarre creative people I know. And so there's just a lot of weird stuff in that campaign, like the dungeon that had a pillar in it, and we went into this room and there was just a pillar, and you could interact with it, and anything you did to the pillar, it would do back to you. It was not a puzzle to solve. It was not an enemy. It was just a weird thing in that room, because he wanted to see how long we would stand there doing things to the pillar, because he thought it was a funny concept. And so that was the kind of game that was. I played a chaotic evil cleric that was a demic, which was a homebrew version of a gnome that was sickly, and basically the first disease that they get when they're born, they have for the rest of their lives, and then they're immune to any disease other than that. And because I was a chaotic evil cleric, I made myself an animal tamer. So my entire thing was, as we were fighting animals early on in the campaign at low levels, as soon as they went unconscious, I would tie them up and then stabilize them, and basically feed them and like make animal handling checks until they were like, okay, I guess this guy's pretty cool. And so because of that, I was riding a bison through most of the campaign, and it was a bison that I eventually got enchanted to be able to fly, and I got his horns enchanted to be keen.
That thing critted so many times.
Yeah. I enchanted its horns to be keen, so it crit on 19, and I also enchanted it so that when it hit a critical, its horns would cause an explosion. And so literally the first attack I made outside of that was like against some robot or android like situation, and he just exploded a cyborg. Very control made on my flying enchanted bison.
Cystic fibro.
Cystic fibrovine, right. And so we were all named after diseases. So I had a bison named Cystic fibrovine, a badger named Hepatitis Badger, because I couldn't think of anything else. So we called it Hep. The only thing I think was Hepatitis B. A rat named Anthrat. Yeah.
Didn't you have plans to like get the machine?
Oh yeah, I got a I found an apparatus of the crab, and because I multi-classed into sorcerer to make the badger my familiar, so I had a telepathic link with it, and then I bought a wolverine because a wolverine and a badger both speak weasel. And so I reasoned that if I could teach my familiar badger how to operate the apparatus of the crab, then the badger and the wolverine could theoretically operate the apparatus of the crab. And so they were in the apparatus of the crab.
I think that's when we stopped playing too. Like
We did that for a while.
Well,
So that's the thing. So that
I'm saying
campaign,
we, like when I stopped. I think that was right around the
Maybe.
time I stopped. You're not gonna answer.
No, I'm not going to answer.
It's super
Mace.
important.
No.
It's an important call.
No.
You know it is.
If she wants to talk, she can get back on the call and fix our.
Look, she's calling. You gotta take this call.
It's going to make worse audio. It's going to distract from the storytelling we're doing. So yeah, so that campaign was a big mess. But it was a lot of fun. It was very weird. And yeah. Hey! Look at those dots. There she is.
That was really rude, Chris. It was really
Rude prank calls, Mace.
Gotta go.
What's rude is pranks.
It's
Also,
not
Hamster.
rude. It's fun. It's jovial. People enjoy my
Oh, God.
pranks.
Finally, everything's fixed. Also, I think I'm done with the spider.
No.
Look at that. Little cavern
Nice.
I lost Chris entirely.
They're here on my end.
It's so. It looks like.
Alright, well, it's just my end. I just have really good internet.
Nice,
Yeah,
nice,
that's-
nice.
You're fine. Who could that be? Is that one of the hunters?
Not one of the ones you met.
He's got the cloak, so I think might be related. Huh. Let's see. HD. We still have title. Well, we'll make it to GDC. That's supposed to be number one after 1 or 2 decades. Oh wow, what is going on? Oh, engineer. Everybody's talking about their employment. One thing I noticed I was talking to about Nate, or talking to Nate about, is a lot of people, a lot of our backers, a lot of our viewers, customers, compatriots, whatever we call them,
The doofers.
doofers. A lot of the doofers work in tech. Got a lot of like programmers. Got a lot of engineers. It's interesting.
People that like to work on stuff. They like to
That's fair.
handle something. Get that. I guess that's one of the things that drew me to our product for sure, is the tactile nature of it. I remember growing up and loving board games and sort of just like loving. There was this one game that we played called. Oh damn it! I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a pegboard, and
Cribbage.
No, it's a pegboard, and you have units like soldiers and stuff, and you have to move them around. And I can't remember what it's called. I think it starts with a P or something like that. But regardless, I remember playing games like that, and just like loving that kind of stuff, and Risk, and playing Axis and Allies and the like, and like then in like the early mid 2000s, HeroScape came out, and like HeroScape was just really cool because it was hey, build this battlefield, link them together however you want.
Heroescape was my first war game situation.
Yeah, and then you got to play, and it was just really fun. I remember that, like, I just remember the cool feeling of it all, and my brother and I started doing more maps in the D&D game. So like we started playing more with miniatures. I just remember having a lot of fun.
Isaac was the guy that ran that big 3.5 Nightmare campaign I was talking about. Had a ton of the Heroescape stuff, all the expansions and everything. And so we'd play Heroescape, and yeah, it would be day-long events where it's like we would take all the pieces he had from all of it, and we'd literally fill an entire room with the build for that game, and spend like a half hour, 45 minutes, like deciding what the armies were. We wouldn't actually get to finish the game because we'd have to play with his brothers, and his brothers would usually start throwing a fit when they lost a unit they liked, and then the game would just end because people were upset. But it was a really
Yay.
cool time. I wish I got to play it all the way through. I want to do more war games.
What about you,
Me
Toby?
too.
What?
Like, what's like? Did you have any like favorite board games or anything like that? Like things that like is that like partially what you find to be the, I don't want to say the joy of working here, but like what kind of keeps you interested in making the sculpts? Is it like I like playing with this stuff, or
For me, it's like I mean, like I started playing on for a couple of things. D&D, play board game like Frostbite and stuff like that. Every time like I make or build, like it's like it's either like trying to like build a thing of a diorama or like design like a level, and I kind of think of it more video game like because that's what I grew up on more.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Well, like, dude, your designs are awesome. I love seeing how you build stuff. Like, I know that we had talked a couple of times about doing like, oh, how can you make like a rotating thing or like a map that could have like vertical walls but also be like an Escher painting or whatever.
Right.
People, and you did that. That's what I mean. Is like you and like I remember having that and then like seeing the way you crafted it and then like brought it to fruition. I was like, of course, this is the way to do that with our stuff. And I just like, it's just really fun. And it just like it's why I like looking at all this stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why the
I
Discord
just
is
like thinking like spatially, just like
yeah.
how things can act like, since I guess like it kind of relates to both like video game maps or even like my architecture degree.
Oh, man.
I just like making spaces and dioramas or like statues.
I want to make more video games.
That's
so.
awesome.
I want to make a game.
Yeah. Miles is learning programming. He's
That's
been
cool.
making some stuff. I really like the Animal Crossing build you did, like back before Wildlands.
Oh yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I want to remake. Wait, you saw the one I did for the Zelda level in Smash, right?
What was that?
You saw the Hyrule Castle that I made once, right?
Yeah, the Hyrule Castle build is really cool.
I want to make more game-related
I wonder
builds.
what more we could make. We could probably make Bridge of Elden actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bridge of Island will be pretty.
That might be actually like a little simple. It is just a long bridge, but
Well, I mean, it's a different design than some of our bridges.
Hyrule Temple. No, that's gonna be too hard. But
Hyrule Temple was,
oh, ruins.
was that?
yeah.
Hyrule in Wildlands.
Pick up Unity or Unreal in some tutorials, guys. Yeah, that's what Miles was learning on. He started with one and then switched to another one. The thing is, like, I love games and I love tearing them apart, and they're probably like the tearing them apart meaning like seeing how they work, not like being mean about them. I do not have the patience for programming. It's a thing where it's like I look at it and it's like I love consuming games, and like I play a lot more games than I watch movies or anything. But like the act of making games is not something that interests me. I briefly toyed with the idea, and it's like I don't want to make these, which is interesting. Like I want to make movies more than I want to watch them most of the time, but I want to play games way more than I want to make them. It's a weird, like,
Power
dichotomy
trip?
thing.
Oh.
Not a power trip. How's that a power trip? Doesn't even make any sense.
And
Just
for
15.
that, yeah, I was thinking, yeah, like design, like building like DF maps and stuff like that with like more like game maps, like mind sense, I guess. But yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
I want to get more into 3D sculpting, and making a game would be fun. So yeah, I want to go into that as well somehow, but I don't know how to even start that. There's so much I want to do.
I want to do that Dagobah build that we talked
J-Lo.
about. I want to make the Dagobah build that we were talking about doing.
Chipotle build? I want to make a Chipotle build?
We were talking, so before the pandemic tore everything apart last year, one of the things we were thinking,
Pandemic tour.
the pandemic tour, before that upset everything last year, like when we were trying to think of like stuff that we could do to like hype things up as we were heading into Wildlands, because we also thought Wildlands was going to be like in May at one point. And so we were like, oh, for May 4th, for Star Wars Days, we should do a build with our swamp pieces, with like
Oh,
the
I hate that, yeah.
and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just kind of got dropped because it was like we were dealing with the whole how do we do all this from home and all that stuff.
Dude, if you look at the calendar that used to be up, it's the Wildlands was supposed to launch in like January at one point.
Oh yeah, that was a laugh.
Wildlands is like the most delayed one of the Kickstarters has ever been, I think. And that's a combination of like the team just needing more time to figure out how to do these like ridiculously like it was an incredibly taxing project to take on, but then also the pandemic hit and made things even worse right as we were finally like getting close. But at the same time, I'm also kind of glad because I think that extra time that we got to put into making it because the pandemic pushed it back was good.
Yeah, it's definitely my favorite set. I think it's the coolest one.
Don't think there's a bad thing in Wildlands.
Yeah.
It's such an incredibly cohesive. Yeah, like I look at it and I'm like, we did the Wildlands. Like I don't look at that and think like, how we really need to come back someday and like fix this. I don't feel that with the set at all. Like we're talking about like the shortcomings of cities and how we can like fix those. I think with Wildlands, like if we go back there, it's like how do we expand on this? I don't think there's a thing where it's like how do we like replace this system? How do we improve on this system? Like I think so much of that stuff was nailed.
What about you, Mace? What's a thing that you've enjoyed?
In general, I really like ice cream.
I haven't had ice cream in months.
I guess I just mean like about the pieces. I don't know. Like I was
Oh, okay.
thinking about like playing games and like why and like I was saying to Toby, it's like why I liked sort of like our stuff is
Why do you
just
like-
the tactile is the tactile nature to it, like being able to like feel the thing in your hand, put it somewhere, and have it mean something is kind of fun.
Yeah.
And like
Yeah, I
sometimes
really-
having to meaning of why it.
I really like building with it and finding out new ways things haven't been used yet. It also is a way to like seeing a build like immediately jumpstarts like, okay, what's going on in this room? And like I by habit am kind of like I'm a writer, so I like storytelling and all that stuff, and that's kind of where my mind immediately goes. And normally when you have like just your mind to build those stories on, you have so much that you have no idea what to do with, but then knowing like pieces that you can put with it or builds or rooms, it kind of helps you narrow it down and it can make you more creative. Kind of like with sonnets, how Shakespeare made sonnets to stay fresh even though he was never fresh. Just to kind of have constraints so that he could practice within those constraints. I think it helps that way. But I also like Dwarven Forge was the first time I ever had like terrain tiles ever used in a game, and so it really upped the gaming value for D&D for me in general. Yeah, it's nice to touch and feel, and like I love that they're heavy, and that some of the pieces make great bookends, and some of them make great display shelf pieces. Always loved minis. I also always loved dioramas, and yeah.
That's the you know what I remember too. Like I remember my brother had minis that we tried to paint, and they were like Lord of the Rings movie minis.
Huh.
It was like an elven army. God, those looked so cool. Like,
Yeah, they still make that. They Games Workshop that makes Warhammer has the license for Lord of the Rings, so they're still cranking out
oh, they
stuff.
are
Yeah.
awesome.
This looks great from a distance.
I agree, Mace. Like, I was never into like statues or busts or anything like that. So like, I feel like that's a whole part of nerd culture that I never really was a part of.
It's so wild to me that GameStop sells those statues now.
Yeah, I guess I just mean yeah. It's like it's like you know the even just like the smaller ones like the sideshow statues or whatever. Like I just like I was never into those kind of models, and then the first time I've ever felt like yeah I think I want that was the Ford Critical Role one
Yeah,
that
you
just
were
happened from
talking-
Sideshow. I was like,
talking
it's just
about
like
that.
it just looks really pretty, and I was like oh yeah, and it like hit me, and I was like this is why. It was like, yep, this is it. This is the thing that people want on their shelves because it's like, oh yeah, that's why people pay like millions of dollars for art. It evokes something, and that's it's really cool.
It's also because Ford, like,
Yeah. He's got a great character design. Actually, they all really have
Yeah.
great character designs, but I just really like his. It's got this cool like, although like she made all the ropes and stuff.
But, yeah, thinking more on what you were saying, like you were asking and stuff like that, it just kind of made me realize like how much like working here is kind of like it's like a combination of all the things I like. Like I grew up on Legos, like I was like you know, I was like you know
Was
working
always
with
building with
full
that.
stuff. I remember as a kid, I was like always like use graph paper to try to like make my own Mario levels and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just,
You were Mario Maker before there was Mario Maker.
it's always just like being able to like plan like these like spatial like three like things that connect in like 3 dimensions and stuff like that. Just
Yeah.
and the pieces being able to you know do all of that more than the Lego piece would. And the amount of detail that gets put on. Yeah.
No, it's yeah, exactly. And I just sent something to Hamster yesterday that I thought was really cool.
Oh yeah.
Mobile Suit Zero or Mobile Suit Frame. It's this like free PDF that some guy made, and it's this really cool thing where you make out of Legos, you make mechs and mechas, and you play a war game through that. And I was like, this is rad. Like you look at their designs of like how to use the Lego pieces to make these like smaller, like still like, you know, smaller mechas, and they're just like super cool looking. I was just like, I was obsessed, and I was like, have you heard of this?
Yeah, I really love games that are like miniatures agnostic, or in that case just using something else entirely, so like you can really just be creative with how you theme stuff, and they give you like the framework to just, you know, be creative. And like I do love 40K. Warhammer's been part of my life for ages, but sometimes they're like, if you want to play this chapter in a tournament, they must be painted in these colors to represent. It's like, okay, that's cool, I guess. You know.
They must be fictionally, historically accurate.
Yeah, right.
Oh. It's probably about time to wrap it up, isn't it?
Probably.
It's past, yeah. But I've been horribly frustrated with this tortoise shell because I want to get it.
You're trying to like shade the top part I'm seeing.
Oh.
Well, it's like I have like the basic shading, but they also just have, you know, the texture of the shell and like the coloration.
Well, that's the thing, right? Is that it's like it's getting darkened just over time. Yeah.
It's like a dark shell. It's like a light.
Mhm.
It's like some of the recesses are light, and then it goes to dark, and then it goes to like a colored spot, and they also are these cool striations, and I don't know how much I'm gonna represent those or not.
could you maybe do? Oh, is there a way to like take something smaller? Because like in bigger art, right? You have sponges,
Yeah.
right? Like if you're putting on a canvas or you're putting it on a wall, you can take a sponge and you can do like unique things. So I'm wondering if there's a way you could take like that kind of a technique and just like stamp it, so you can
Yeah.
get the rings. that
Or
you're
at
talking
the
about.
very least, I might do like stippling with a brush or something, just for a
Yeah.
little more precision, because it's so tiny. But I definitely
Yeah.
I like using sponges for battle damage on like armor, like chips and stuff.
I want to see. It's true.
Oh,
Look at that.
cool! He's a little mule turtle.
Yeah. And so he doesn't have much of the shell. So like I had to just like I had to what is it? What am I trying to say? Dry brush some of the spots of the shell that were there.
Right.
So I didn't really get the bottom done very well, but
That's the bottom.
Look at that big cat.
he's
Let's
just
see.
cute.
Oh, cat cam. Here we go.
Oh!
But Chunk does not like being held.
Oh, you're
I did, yeah, I did
He's
this one off
squirming.
stream actually, but I kind of wanted to show you. It's like a follow-up to the orc that I did on Thanksgiving. I have like 5 of these orcs from Ragecraft, and I really like how the shield came out.
Yeah,
Like,
that's awesome.
That's all the interference paints. I think do better on the Ragecraft picture. I don't know if it's because the scale is slightly larger, so it's just easier for me to like hit the details. But like, I love because it's made to match. It's made to match. It's made to match this one, because like they these like we've made this like an actual like group in our game,
Oh, cool.
and so the colors are like based on like the god that they represent and all that, and so I don't know. It's cool. Like I guess this is the closest thing that I've gotten so far to like designing like a scheme for an army, for a warband.
Right, right.
And I don't know. It's been fun. I kind of wish I'd had the interference paints when I made this one, but I didn't. So it's been fun to mess with. I did that one like a week ago, or I think like 5 days ago. Did I do it on Critical Role?
Awesome. Dude, Mace, your wooden sword on your wall is badass.
Thank you. It's medieval times.
Nice. Awesome. Well, Toby, let's see that sculpt one more time, and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, sure. So I was working on a lot of the wood grain today.
Oh, awesome.
And that goes.
Ooh.
Oh, I love the damage.
Yeah, I love the planks
Yeah,
falling
I
off.
want to go back and just damage it more.
Yeah. That looks great, man. Jeez.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow.
Man,
It's a haunted house.
Or just a completely like spooky derelict house.
Nice.
When we're back in the office, I really want to try just like learning to sculpt. Like, it seems like a really cool thing. It's a kind of creation that I've never done before. I think
I
it'd
didn't
be
know how to sculpt it. Like I didn't really sculpt before this at all.
Yeah, it'd be cool to sculpt custom minis. I've thought about trying to get into minis, but I feel like I still want to get better at painting. So,
Would you
one
want
day.
it to be? Would you want it to be minis that you cast and stuff, or would you want it to be 3D printing?
I don't know. I think in this day and age, like 3D printing makes a lot of things easier, like changing dimensions and size and making multiples or whatever. So, I don't know. And it'd probably be more accessible to, launch a program. But
Yeah.
we're talking about tactile gaming. Tactile art and creation is also very cool too. So like just good old green stuff on armatures with sculpting tools would also be really fun.
Yeah, I mean you're the mini guy at the forge, so like if you actually, man, yeah, if you could like start making minis, that'd be fat. Oh, it'd be so cool to actually have like a mini in one of the Kickstarters that is just like a hamster project from start to finish, something you literally sculpt and cast and paint yourself.
That would be absolutely amazing. But I got some stiff competition because like Drew, like all the miniatures are getting so much better. Like they've always been really cool, and they just get better and better and cooler. It's like, oh man, I can't. I gotta catch up if I were to do that.
Yeah, I want to learn how to like sculpt minis, like both real and in 3D as well.
Yeah.
Which should be fun.
That's
Awesome.
Very cool.
Well, hey, we're kind of coming up on Streamapalooza, huh?
Yeah.
Still a week and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal. If you guys are not aware, we pulled the players for the anniversary game yesterday. If you're not aware, we're doing a big anniversary game. There's a video on the YouTube channel Dwarven Forge that will explain all of this more briefly, and in a way where I definitely won't forget something right now. But essentially, if you've got Dwarven Forge stuff enough to make a 12x12 build, and you want to make a room that will be used in a live game that Nate is DMing for 3 viewers, we are submitting, or we're accepting submissions to that for the next there's 4 more days on it, I think. We're going to stop. I'm going to take them through Monday night, because then Tuesday I'm going to take them and present them to the team, and we're going to select 3 of those builds and announce them on Wednesday. And then Thursday and Friday, there will be a poll open for votes on 3 more builds to be put in the game. And then the week after that, we're going to... Man, the game is 2 weeks and 1 day away. Wow. Yeah, then the Streamapalooza happens the week after next week, the week of the 23rd, or 22nd, something. The last week of February. Tuesday, Tyler and Toby will be doing a build jam where they're going to have a little competition to make 4 quadrants of a boss room. And you guys vote on who wins for each quadrant, and then it gets like mashed together into a boss room for the game. Wednesdays on the Anvil will be an encounter building like writer's room where Nate and I will be talking to the viewers, and we will decide what happens in each of those rooms. Thursday on the Hobby Hang, we will be painting the player minis and potentially some other minis that we might need.
Oh, cool.
If we speed paint something, because I just realized, like, yeah, designing these encounters, what if we actually don't have an appropriate mini? Maybe I'll need to like build Thursday. Maybe we'll need to speed paint some stuff.
Yeah.
And then Friday is the big old game. It's exhausting, but I'm very excited about it. I don't think people have done something like this before, so I'm very excited to see how it goes.
Yeah,
and
that's
the
really
game
cool.
on Friday is going to be like extremely interactable. You guys will be able to vote and spend channel points and stuff to influence the stuff that's happening on the field. We'll go more in detail on how exactly you can do that when we get closer to it, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, Ryan has a decent question. If you're in the game, probably don't be in those streams where all the secrets are being laid out.
Yeah. The understudies are probably good. The understudies are probably fine. That's a tough one, yeah, because if we have like a last-minute thing where we need to pull on people. So far, all 3 of them have messaged me back, so it looks like all the players are in. We're going to be doing a Vorpal board test this weekend, so if there's a tech issue, we should know this weekend if one of them like can't actually run Vorpal board, so then we'll know if we're pulling one of the understudies this weekend, probably.
Oh, cool.
But I guess there is the chance that we might have a last-minute dropout, but I don't think it's likely.
Last minute dropout. Last minute dropout.
Well, awesome. Lots to look forward to. Thanks to the Hang team for hanging later than usual here. Kind of just happened organically for me. I was kind of just chilling, having a good time. So.
Well, I think like there's a point where like you just start working.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
and I don't mean working. I just mean like you just start.
Yeah, just in the zone.
I think the conversation was pretty lively today. This one felt like it flew by. I didn't think there was that much like even like downtime.
No,
Like,
yeah, it was great.
yeah.
When you get golden treats like Ungatello.
Time
Oh
flies.
yeah,
when
did you
you-
paint the jockstrap?
Did I what?
did you get the
Paint
jog?
the jockstrap?
I that is the most important detail, so I'm saving it for last. But I'm thinking about painting a giant arrow down his chest, just a downward arrow. You know.
Topulus, you're not allowed to. Topulus, you're not allowed to submit builds. You're not allowed- builds. The players are not allowed to submit builds. I know you're probably joking, but
Awesome.
but yeah. So
Awesome. Well, hey, yeah, thanks for hanging, everyone from Dwarvenforge. Thank you, everybody in the chat. We'll see you next time. Have a good night. Later.
Bye.
you're pretty good.